Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co, and welcome back to my playthrough of the campaign of Tanares Adventures. This is a sponsored playthrough from Dragori Games. I'm going to be diving into the entire Tanares Adventures campaign, and speaking of campaign, Dragori Games right now has the campaign for Tanares Adventures over on Kickstarter, the relaunch campaign. If you want to dive into it, now is a good opportunity to do so. This is the second video in the series. The first video in the series kind of dove into tutorials, didn't really have the full gameplay, not really, it was more about diving into how things work, how the sequence and flow of things work, picking my starting characters, things like that as I went through it. I'll have that link down below, but this is the first official diving into the actual map, the playthrough, being on this board and doing all of that, and really going through a full sequence of choices, of adventures, of quests, where we're going to have these two optional quests over here. Well, optional, you have to do one of these. We have the Hunger and Crime and the Undead Infestation. Before we dive into this, again, just a note on the fact that this is a sponsored playthrough. This is the full entire campaign is sponsored. Take that into account. This is something that Dragori and I did after my review of this game, because I have reviewed the game. I like this game very much, and any collaboration whatsoever as far as sponsored content was done after any form of opinion whatsoever. Like, we only started talking about this after any review I had on the subject. I just think it's worth covering that because I was very positive about this game. I have been very positive about the contest since I first covered it. It was the third video on my channel. I've liked this game for a long time, and I understand that sponsored content can muddy those waters. But with that, let's go ahead and start this off. We have Hunger and Crime and Undead Infestation. I'm going to walk through what will happen with these quests. Basically, in this game, you're going to be given these adventure cards, and you have to make choices, because as you make choices, pathways will start closing before you as new pathways open up for you. And so we have Hunger and Crime. If neglected, the populace and army may starve, and orcs may become allies of the Kemet, greatly impairing your ability to fight this war. That seems like a bad thing. In the alternative view of Undead Infestation, if neglected, an army of undead may overwhelm the region and you won't know how to fight it. So we can deal with the undead or the Hunger and Crime. For the Undead Infestation, context. Undead corpses like no other ever seen are roaming the region of Shortfall Forest, between South Stravian and capital provinces. The outbreak began recently, which makes you think it may be connected with some secret plan of the Kemet. These undead are rumored to spread disease, emit toxic mists and spores, and kill even trees that come in contact with them. Most of them are marching from as far east as Hazarmaveth, extended region Herat, with the Kemet invading from west to east. Warfiji is being pressed in the middle. Expectations: head to Shortfall Forest to protect its people and learn what you can from these undead to know how you can fight against possibly the most important weapons of the Kemet in this war. So, option 1, we deal with the undead. Option 2, Hunger and Crime. The Emperor is missing. Many Ironhand troops were lost in the invasion, and those who survived are busy in the protection of strategic points, such as portals. In the vacuum of power, criminality in the imperial roads of Ubel has spiked up, especially from Svitan Orcs tribes waging a war of their own. Historic enemies of the Empire, the winning tribe will likely unite the Orcs and ally with the Kemet. That sounds bad. Food no longer flows as it used to. After important Ironhand wagons disappeared on the road, even Warfiji and its soldiers were affected. Expectation: head south to protect the populace and find Warfiji supplies, if possible. Learn how you can intervene in the Orcs' civil war and stop their criminal activities in the province. So, I have to choose one of these quests. If I choose one of them, the other one may go away and become an ongoing problem for us in this battle. And choosing between the option of Hunger, honestly, if I'm choosing between Hunger and the Undead, I'm resolving the Undead, because undead forces seem bad. Hunger, people can figure out on their own. The trickier part is it talks about the orcs possibly allying with the Kemet, which that has me a bit worried. If I can deal with unrest and have the orcs more on our side, that's a good thing, but I think I'm a little bit more scared of the undead, and so I am going to proceed with Undead Infestation as our quest of choice, which means we're going to put Hunger and Crime off to the side. This one's available, I don't even know where. Here's my stack of things over here, and we're going to resolve the Undead Infestation quest over here, which means we need to go to our journal and start reading, again, for those of you who watch the tutorial, the sequence is adventure card, and then journal. That's the sequence you're going through. So, journal, we are going to go ahead and grab Undead Infestation over here, which means we need to flip to that particular quest, and that's going to be Quest E. So, Adventure Chapter E, Undead Infestation. Sarah reports how bad the situation regarding the undead seem to be throughout the continent, from what she hears from her tavern's customers. As if hearing about it wasn't bad enough, a man suddenly collapsed on the floor, presenting strange symptoms that indicate some kind of disease. Fast action mode, we're not going to do that. We want to actually go through this and enjoy this. Keep reading to help the man, taking him to the local temple's priest. Fast action mode will let you skip this entire sequence and go straight to the end. Each hero makes a test based on their attribute for, okay, we need over here, each hero makes a test, we need their cards. So, let's go ahead and move things around a bit. We need our cards present, so we are going to slightly reposition the board over here, pushing this up just a notch so we can have our cards in play, because we need our heroes' cards, because they have our heroes' stats on them. So we're going to push this up a drop more, so we can have our cards in play. Here we go. One character, two characters. In fact, actually, let's just try to orient this so I can have them in the relative order from down there, so it's a little clearer to me. We have our healer. We have over here our shooter. And then we have our tank over here, and then finally our tactician. So here are our 4 cards we have over here. Each of these heroes is going to have certain stats on them. So we're going to go ahead and make a D20 plus hero card plus NPC card. We don't really have the NPC cards right now. NPC cards are going to be possibly characters you can add to your heroes to augment them, but we don't have those. So what we are going to do is we're going to grab our handful of dice. And one of the ways I have this working out is if you have the advanced, the extra dice over here, I can roll all the dice at once and correlate the colors, having to ignore the part where I deal with each of these. And I also will note, I'm playing with full characters here. I'm not playing with companion heroes, so I'm playing with full heroes as I go through this. I may, for the sake of showing you how things work, at some point engage with the companion heroes, but for right now we're diving fully into this. So each hero makes a test on their intelligence over here, so we're going to roll these dice and see how it goes. So D20 plus hero card plus NPC card. Oh, this is tough over here. Oh wow, this is tough. +1 if you have Barrelmer's missions fact, +3 to healers. Okay, so this is what we're going to see over here. So we rolled as follows. We have the 17 on the healer over here. We have the 10 over here on the shooter. We have the 7 on our tactician, and we have 15 on our bruiser. Now we do get +1 to all rolls if you have Barrelmer's mission, which we do if we have our cards, which are, where did it go? I have sheets over here. Where did they go? They're underneath here. So Barrelmer's mission over here is going to be something you achieve from the past quest over here. So I have +1 to all my quests over there. So all of these are now 1 higher. +1 to all rolls, +3 to healers. So this is a healer over here, which means she effectively has a 21 right now. If at least 1 hero succeeds, so we have 1 hero, that's all we needed was 1 hero. You don't know what kind of illness this is, but you realize that it may be contagious. You take the necessary precautions and carry him to the temple. 1 hero gains a cube. So honestly, I'm going to give it to the healer because she got it. So we're going to go ahead and give ourselves a cube over here, moving it into our cube box over there, which will explain more how this works as we go through it. Go to 2. The man sounds delirious. He says that corpses attacked his friends in Shortfall Forest. Forget about me and my disease. I'll probably die anyway. But there may still be time to save my friends. Head to Shortfall Forest through the portal on the back of the tavern. You meet Razun at the local temple. The disease this man carries is of magical origin. My powers are insufficient to heal him. I will send a message to High Cardinal Gideoni. This is not the first case we've seen. Something must be done to contain this disease before it spreads across Tanares. Also, fun fact, I forgot to actually add her intelligence, but her intelligence, ironically, was 0. So if you actually possibly had a few characters, Circle of Protection over here, Gregorian may have passed, but you have to remember to add those stats. I forgot to because we already passed. Going back over here, what will you do? For such a widespread problem, you need quantity and quality, not quality. Report the situation to Captain Sudura so that Iron Hand can deal with it. 4. Return to Sarah and ask for more information about what you can do. Talk with Zalier about what happened. His sources could have shared something with value. Do as the sick man requests, ignore his disease, and rush to Shortfall to see what's happening. That's interesting. I feel I should listen to this. I'm going to listen to the man. The sick man requests. I'm going to ignore his disease and rush to Shortfall to see what's happening. We're going to go to 13 based on this over here. So, if this is the first alternative, if this is the first alternative you chose in section 3, keep reading. Immediately, as you step out of the portal, you see some people running and screaming. They didn't see the well-concealed portal. You shout at them and wave so they can escape. Thank you so much, one of them says. Another minute and we'd be dead for sure. It all began right after the destroyed orb. The woman raises a piece of the orb in front of you, as if it were a visual prop in a lecture. You take it from her. It must belong to Huradin. You're glad you took the action so quickly and saved some lives. 2 heroes gain a cube. Ooh, we're going to split some cubes up over here. We're going to have a cube to this character over here, and the tactician. Why not? Put a token in slot 5. So, right about now, we're going to grab one of our black tokens. We're going to put it in slot 5. That might be relevant as we're diving into the quest. Also, I like how the kind of gave me that aspect. Apparently there were multiple quest lines where I could have gone back in different ways, but I could only resolve that particular choose an adventure if I had done it as the very first thing. Or at least I should rephrase that, I actually got the bonuses for going there. Because we're now going to go to 14. In the forest you find several tracks. Many people treaded by here recently. You follow the trails to Huradin's hut, a dwelling carved on an enormous tree trunk. The camp around it is turned upside down. A damaged orb pulsates. Its light illuminates the dead bodies of commoners. Do we search for survivors, try to identify the victims and the cause of their demise? Do we investigate the hut to try to understand what happened? Or read this only if you have a queue on slot 7. I'm not going to read that then. So, do we search for survivors or investigate the hut? I kind of want to find out what's up with Huradin. He's that other character who we are still missing, I think. So, but the people... Do I do the people or do I search for survivors? I'm going to go to the hut. I want to go to the hut. We're going to investigate the hut to try to determine what happened. Near the sphere, you find a torn note. The beginning of the message is missing. The bottom of this. My orbit defense should keep the undead away. If it's not working properly, use the tools in my containers to repair it. It should be a fairly simple task. Huradin. So we're missing part of the note over here. The team vaguely wanders through the hut to understand what happened, but one of you may focus on tasks deemed the most important. Assign a task for each hero to perform. So we can go ahead and assign, we can look at the crumpled and torn paper scattered on the floor. We can study the orb to examine it. We can examine the ingredients and utensils found on the desk. We can use the rubble to barricade the camp. Or we can examine the scroll with a dwarf on it. There's a lot of things. I'm going to choose my strongest hero. I'm going to have, oh, actually, my healer is pretty strong too. I will have my succubus over here. I'm going to have her use the rubble to barricade the camp. And so to do this, we're going to mark B. I'm going to use my dice over here. And so I'm going to have the succubus marking B over here. Not B, sorry, D. So that's going to be number 4. And that's going to be our tracking that over there. Then we're going to have our shooter over here, who has a high intelligence. He's going to go ahead and study the orb and try to examine it. So we're going to mark him with a 2 to illustrate B. Then we're going to have, you also have a strong strength over here. We can examine the ingredients, we can use the rubble, examine the scroll with a dwarf in it. Oh my gosh. I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to examine the ingredients, utensils. We'll go ahead and examine the ingredients, utensils found on a desk. So we're going to go ahead and, you know what? No, we actually think it'd be a friendly dwarf. So we're going to go to 5 over here. So we're going to mark that as 5. That's going to be E. And then we're going to go over here to Tactus over here. She has high, she's going to go ahead and look at the crumpled and torn paper scattered on the floor based on her high, whatever that is, that attribute. I should know this, but I don't remember offhand the name of it. And with that, we're going to go ahead and resolve. Go to 34. I'm going to see the quests. So, 34, hero number A. That's 1. Make a test. You see, I called that correctly. This is part of the game where often you have different attributes you have to make tests. And sometimes there are things that are potentially thematically relevant to what you're trying to do. And so I thought with a high, again, I can't remember the name of that attribute, but whatever it's called, awareness, let's call it awareness. With the high awareness, I figured I can look through the crumpled papers, and they're testing the awareness, which means we are going to go ahead and make a test for hero A is going to test this over here. We got a 4, which is terrible, plus her 6 is a 10, 12 is a success, we don't have anything else, plus 2 of your eyes are glowing in your hero cards illustrations. I love it, I love it. My card is literally, I mean, this is glowing eyes, right? So we have glowing eyes over here, which I don't know whether you can see that, but glowing eyes. So our 10 just became 12, and a 12 is a success. You find the first part of the note. Dear Sarah, people keep coming to request a help I will not provide. I know you'll soon come for me. Also, please forgive me, but you won't. I know you'll soon come for me also. Please forgive me, but you won't find me. Infectious undead have appeared, carrying a mysterious plague, and I need to get to. The message is cut short. There's also a diagram that teaches you how to increase the orb's effects. A hero gains a cube. Failure, nothing, not relevant. Okay, great, so we figure things out. There's also a diagram that indicates that teaches you how to increase the orb's, no, and I need to get to, where was that message? I need to get to the bottom of this. Okay, that was the message. Hero B, that's going to be our quest, our hero over here, this one over here, and they're going to be testing out their intelligence, which I, again, predicted around there. So we're going to go ahead and roll a die, and we have, our die is a 19. That seems pretty good. A 19 plus our 5 is a 24, and so, plus 3 the roll, irrelevant over here. There are also plus 3s for certain characters, but success. You find that the orb reacts to nearby undead by firing a blast at them. You can activate a pulse that immediately hits the closest one. Put a black cube on slot 2. Again, these will be relevant for the actual adventure we go through. Failure, not relevant. Hero C, we didn't do the Hero C. So we have Hero D now is next, which means we're going to be looking at Nyx over here, and Nyx is going to be testing her strength, which I have no characters. I actually have this one with a good strength, so Nyx is kind of on her own. I thought it would possibly be the handshake thing, which is a mistake, but we're going to test this, and we rolled an 8. So, plus 2 the roll if you're a brute, bruiser, or tank, not relevant. We can only add 1, so it's a 9. Plus 2 the roll if your hero does not wear heavy armor in its cards illustrations. Okay, so our hero does not wear heavy armor. I would argue strongly that this is not heavy armor. So we're going to go with that, which means we now have our 9 becomes an 11, which unfortunately is still not enough to do a 12 plus. Failure. You cannot effectively move and position the rubble. So our first failure was bound to happen. Moving on to Hero E. Hero E over here, number 5, is going to be making an awareness test, which I incorrectly called that one. So Dragori's going to be on his own over here, rolling a 15, and plus 3 the roll if you are a dwarf, which we're not. I don't think so. Plus 3 the roll if your hero has that 3 or more. So we did get that. So it's actually a 17 right now. And that's it, which is enough. You read some inspiring words. The hero gains 1 empowered token. So, we have these tokens over here. We're going to get an empower token over here as far as different... I don't know where to put these. We're going to put these down over here for the purpose of this quest over here. And we're going to give an empower token over to Dragori on his board. We'll deal with that later. Go to 22. So, we had our first test. We made certain choices. 22. Numerous undead suddenly surprise you. They surround the camp. The orb, clearly damaged, seems to react to their presence, but you must repair it if you are to make it out of this alive and help Huradin return to a safe home. Go to the quest guide and set up quest 10. Welcome to the jungle! So, right about now, we're going to go ahead and set up quest 10. This is still going to be necessary. We're going to move this off to the side. We're going to put this down over here, and we're going to open this up over here and set up quest 10. Quest 10 means we have to go back a bit, and then we have to go here. Quest 10, welcome to jungle. Conduct repairments to Hurridan's orbit defense while clearing the undead of his camp to see if the old druid can return to his dwelling. So we were missing Hurridan in the initial, quest sequence, or the various city phases the various experts were consulting. We have to repair the orb to ward off the undead. Primary objective, remove all barrels and kill all villains, exception Reapers may be alive. And the orb's HP never drops to 0. And if it does, it looks like we're going to have to read 10.2. If you lose, we'll have to go ahead and deal with that. Extra challenge, kill 3 Reapers with a single mana flow or repairments. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to go ahead and set up this quest, and then we're going to come back to what the special rules are, how everything works, and that means that I will see you in a minute. Okay, we're back and everything is set up and we're ready to go. Now there's a lot going on here. We have this beautiful whole setup with our 3D walls, our characters, our heroes are inside of the camp, and we're going to explain everything that's happening in just 1 second. We're going to go ahead and read through the quest, Welcome to the Jungle. Conduct repairments to Hurridan's orbit defense while clearing the undead off his camp to see if the old druid can return to his dwelling. Now our primary objective is to remove all the barrels. We're going to have a barrel here and a barrel here and a barrel here, and we have to remove them from the board. Then we have to kill all villains except for Reapers. The reason except for Reapers is because the Reapers are going to constantly be respawning in this game, which means you don't have to kill the Reapers, but you do have to kill everyone else who not everyone is starting on the map right now. To that end, we also have the orbit defense. That's going to be this thing down here. It has 60 health. Health things are represented around the edge of the board. These skulls are enemies. These tokens over here are our allies. And then this token is the orb's HP, and this token is the orb's XP, which is going to be the amount of damage it deals. From there, the orb is effectively going to be pulsating blasts at the end of every round to all the Reapers in the camp, or to all enemies in the camp. All villains in the camp are going to take damage equal to the orb's XP, but then we have to go ahead and give up cubes, that's going to be these things over here, in order to prevent the orb from taking damage. The orb is unstable, and as it pulses out these blasts, we have to kind of constrain its energy, or the orb is slowly going to lose damage, and if the orb drops to 0, we lose the quest. Additionally, at the end of every round, if all the Reapers are currently in play, one of the heroes will take 20 damage, and if the Reapers are not all in play, we will spawn a Reaper, placing them on any outer edge of the camp. So again, the camp is constantly being attacked. The orb is treated as a hero for the purposes of all targeting, which is where we're going to have to be mindful of that. Past that, whenever we interact with a chest or a barrel, we're going to go ahead and I'll walk you through the sequence, but effectively the orb is potentially going to gain XP, which means it's going to go from dealing 10 damage to dealing 13, then 16, and I'd say 19, but at that point you should ideally win the game, so hopefully not 19, but it's going to be pulsating out multiple blasts. We have the extra challenge of killing killing 3 Reapers with a single mana flow or repairment aspect to the game. The repairment is going to be utilizing of a skill. We'll talk more about that, but using a single mana flow is when that orb pulsates out these magical blasts. And then past that, whenever we pick up a quest, we're going to be interacting with the next step of the event. And to start the event, we are going to go ahead, we have our heroes in the camp, and we're going to go ahead and read 10.1 in the journal. This is where we have to find Welcome to the Jungle in the second half of this book over here. We have quest 5, quest 6, quest 7, quest 8, quest 10. Welcome to the jungle! So, if you have slot 1, we do not. So this is where we're going to look at how we did in the earlier phase, which is where we have these cubes down over here. And we're going to have slot 2. You know how to quickly activate the orb to emit a pulse affecting the invaders. All villains take 5 damage. So this goes back to the choice you made along the way will have an impact, and every single villain right now is going to immediately take 5 damage, which makes our life significantly easier. They're going to drop to 30, drop to 35, and then up here, this guy's going to drop to 50. Then we also have in slot 5 over here. We can now remove these. I'm going to leave them on. It's possible that things will reference them. Slot 5 over here is one of the people you rescued gave you a piece of the orb, but it's loosely attached and may fall again at any time. The orb starts with an additional 10 HP. So it's going to go from its 60 over here up to 70. It's going to bump up its XP by 10 initial, not maximum XP, just bumping up 10 XP. And then we can go ahead and start the thingy. Welcome to the Jungle begins now. Take the first turn. So, this is a good time to remind you all that there's a lot going on in Tanares Adventures. I have a lot of fun playing this game, but I inevitably will miss things. Sometimes it may be because I misunderstood a rule and have been playing this game wrong the entire time. If so, whenever you catch me missing something, I welcome all comments, and I will be looking over and reading over comments of anything that you catch me doing wrong, and I'll be incorporating it into gameplays as I go. Please keep in mind, sometimes the gameplays are being filmed in sequence, which means sometimes I might be 3 gameplays ahead by the time I can start incorporating your feedback or your notes about something I've missed. The second, and frankly more common thing, is there's a lot going on, and to keep the pace of the game moving nicely, I will miss things. Enemies have a lot of activations, a lot of reactions, a lot of things. The gameplay is not that hard to actually track, but inevitably you'll miss things. I've said this in my review, and you can expect to see that in this video. Again, I welcome all comments, but kind of expect that I am aiming to just move forward in the game as opposed to anything else, and that means I will make mistakes, and it'll all work out. I'll have fun, and hopefully that doesn't affect your enjoyment of this playthrough and all future playthroughs as we go through it. But with that, we're going to go ahead and start, and we're going to start taking our turns. The game flow sequence is the heroes take their turns. We have 4 heroes. When enemies are targeted as a result of my taking my turns, when they take damage as a result of my turns, they will react on their turn, and then they will not react on their end of turn. But enemies that do not take damage during the turn will unfortunately be activating a little stronger, a little faster, hitting a little harder, and that's not great. So we kind of want to deal damage equally to the enemies, but if we deal damage equally, we can't take them out. So there is that toss-up of how you're actually going to engage with that. But let's figure it out. I'm going to charge forward. I'm going to do my best over here. We have chests over here. Chests are going to be an opportunity. You can use those to heal. Now, if we do use a chest, we can give a hero 30 health and heal 10 health to any hero that's under 20. The problem is that will not allow us to move up our Kemet Hunt. Kemet Hunt is this activation thing where we can get more goodies at the end of a quest, but we also will be leveling up the difficulty of the game as we go. I want the Kemet Hunt to be harder, but also I've yet to play this game on camera, and on camera I want to move faster, which means less tactical decision making. Anyways, let's go ahead and go. We're going to have a lot of things to do. I'm going to talk you through things as I go, but as much as possible. But first and foremost, do we have anyone we can deal damage to with our wizard over here? Do we have a fire? These fires, what are these situations? That's not going to help us over there. Those are block things. We're going to go ahead and charge forward on this. You know what? No. Move to, honestly, we're going to start right now. We're going to start with this guy over here. So we're going to start with our mage, Avalum the Wizard. In general, throughout the game, I'm going to focus more on things the first time I do them, but then as we continue through the series, I'm going to focus less on specific explanations of every action. To a certain extent, I rely on the fact that if you're watching these videos, you've been watching them in some form of sequence, or you will miss some degree of what's going on. But Avalum the Wizard has an option over here where, in general, shooters have an ability. If the target is 4 or more away from you on the first hit of your turn, then they're going to go ahead and activate the effect, and this effect is move to the target and then deal +8 damage if it takes terrain damage during the attack. So in other words, we want to attack someone who's at least 4 away from us, and heroes do not block line of sight. So right now, Avalum could attack one of these people, then shove them into the spikes, they'll take 4 damage, plus an additional 8 damage because they took terrain damage. That's effectively this ability over here, which means we are going to go ahead and look at the cards over here. We have magic missiles. No, not really necessarily very good. We can ignore a number of targets. I mean, with any number of targets, that's pretty good, honestly. That is pretty good. It's situationally good, but it's pretty good. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. We're going to go use Arcane Blast, which I think is a great tactic right now. Arcane Blast has an 8 square range over here. It's going to hit all combatants in a 3x3 area. It's going to do 9 damage plus the effect. You may move any number of targets, hit 1 square each, which means we may even be able to, I think you only do it once per turn. We won't be able to overly, you know, we're still going to do it, but it's going to have slightly less of a benefit. Well, you'll see. It's still worthwhile doing. So we're going to go ahead and target. So we're going to attack the red guy first. The red guy has a defense of 5, and the green guy has a defense of 5. So we're going to attack the red guy first using his Defying Die over here. And so we're trying to get a 5+ over to here to hit. We got an 18, so we're good to go, which means he's going to be hit, and he's going to be pushed over here. He's going to deal 9 damage plus 4 damage. Oh, you know what? Honestly, not. We're going to actually hit him over here, and there's a reason for that, because then we're going to push him over here. Then we're going to use our ability to move to the target, deal +8 damage. So he did 9 damage, pushed him 1. Resolve this ability where we push him again onto terrain. So he's now going to take 4 more. So he took 8 plus 4 plus 8. So a total of 20 damage he's going to take, and he's currently on this 30 over here, so he's going to deal 20, dropping down to 10. Okay, so we're going to drop down to over here to 10, that's where he drops, and then we're going to attack this guy because we attack in a 3x3 square, so we're not done yet. Unfortunately, the effect is only going to be the first hit of our turn, so it will not resolve on this guy, which we're going to go ahead and roll, and we got a 4, which unfortunately is just enough to miss. That is unfortunate. We have a 5 defense over here, and he missed on that, and you don't even get to do residual damage. Residual damage is going to happen when you miss over here, but you have to miss all the targets to have that happen, which means that was a very cool card, very useful, but I negated to do 12 damage against that other guy, which is really unfortunate when you think about it. But either way, what's going to happen now is now the enemies are going to activate. That was Avalim's turn. We're going to take a little black cube over here. I usually track these people. I usually have an easy enough time tracking who went over here. We're going to resolve the skill. Now in general over here, we have our skills, our 6 skills, our 2 ultimates, and our other skills. And this one's face down to show that it's flipped. It's not active next turn. Next I have to select from one of the other 5 abilities. I also could have moved, and in fact, I believe I made a mistake. That is a focused hit over there. That's a focused hit because of the fact that I did not move my turn. All my attacks should be focused, I believe. I'm going to double check this over here, but they should be focused. So I am correct that the enemy is in focus in the sense that because I didn't move, they are in focus, which means it would be +3 effectively to my roll. The downside is this enemy is within 3, and so I actually was not in focus. You have to have no enemies within 3 when you do it. So I'm done over there. That's my turn. We're done with that person, and now we're going to have this guy activate back. So this person's going to activate over here. They have no passive powers. There's Reapers, which is going to make things a little easier to manage, but he's going to go ahead and resolve his turn, and he's going to be targeting the hero with the most HP, which is my this guy over here, my tank. So he's going to go 1 over here, 2, 3, 4, and I don't think he can get within distance, unfortunately or fortunately. So he's going to walk over here. I'm not clear if the fire is not a terrain they can't move over. I'm going to pretend they could move over because it's not clear to me that they can't. And so we're going to go ahead and move over there. Now he can't actually activate to attack right now because he's too far away. So now whenever they can't actually get to anyone, they're going to instead run they're going to double their movement effectively and run towards things anyway and just hit the first target where they can, which is still going to be that person. So they're still going to be able to do that, but they will take damage by doing so. Basically, he's going to go ahead and take 3 damage, which is whenever they become hastened. They have a dark surge. They're hastened. So because he couldn't get there fast enough, he panicked, he ran. It will always attack the closest target at that point, but he does take 3 damage. So at least we have that compensating factor. But then from there, we're going to go ahead and have the tank. The tank is going to go ahead and deal with that hit over here. Our tank is enemy starts his turn within 1. It's not relevant. So we're going to go ahead and roll against our tank. Our tank has a defense of 8 over here. And we're going to roll the white die, which is I always consider the enemy die the white die. Roll it against over there. Defense of 8. It got a 13, which means it deals 17 damage to our tank, unfortunately. The tank is going to go ahead and move down from 70 down to 53, and you can see how fast we get hit in this game. Now the good news is he's going to take 10 damage from the orb at the end of the turn, but we still need to get him further down to be able to actually have that be an impact. So we do want to try to get all these enemies down further. We're going to have to see what we can do over here. That was... Oh, did I move the wrong person? I moved the wrong person. I moved the wrong... This, I apologize. This should be over here. This should be up here, and this should be down by 10, which means this is really down to 7. So that Dark Surge didn't help us because he was dying anyways, no matter what. So let's see if we can figure out the next enemy to activate. We're going to go ahead and activate an allies within one of you. The allies within one of the target first hit of the turn. I can make that work. Now the problem is that character. That's the tricky part we have right now, which is the character we have over there is going to currently take damage if he... that's annoying. I'm going to take a reaction damage. See, the problem I have right now is I kind of want to move him to be able to attack someone else, because he's dead from this orb. The problem is if I move him, I'm going to take reaction damage from this character, which is slightly annoying. So let's try to resolve things one at a time. Let's go ahead and use Ix over here. Nyx, the Succubus of Greed. If an ally is within 3 of you, first of your turn, deal +5 damage. So if I am able to hit someone, because I have allies close by to me, I'll deal +3 damage. I love the spell Pew Pew over here. But let's try to take a look at what we have over here. Forego your passive power. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to forego my passive power. No, I don't want to do that at all. So we got to do this over here. We got, what else do we want to do? +3 to attack roll. No. We can do 7 damage. Move 3 an ally. Ooh, that's good. That's perfect. Okay, so we're going to do Life Tithe over here. This is actually a nice thing. So, in general, you don't take reaction damage if you're moved as a result of something outside your turn. So if I use Life Tithe over here, which is going to give me the optional ability to be able to move my ally. So I'm going to take an 8 square range, 1 enemy, 7 damage plus effects. Effects is move 3 an ally, and then choose 1. You or an ally heal 6. Which I think I'm going to do that to be able to heal our character, our Grigori. So what I will go ahead and do is I'm going to attack... Let's attack the blue over here. I guess attack the blue. Maybe I should do the order. Maybe the order is important. I know I do. Oh, there's so many issues here. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and attack blue. So we're going to have blue be attacked. Blue has a defense of 5, a health of 35. And so we're going to go ahead and roll our die attacking blue. We should need to get a 2. A 2. Of course we got a 2. We got a 2. So that's great. We're doing well on the rolling over here. But I could do things. Perfect. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Now we're going to start explaining our skill board. Because right now, on your skill boards over here, each of the heroes has a skill board with a bunch of skills. The only skills you need to worry about are these things which are covered over here. These specific level 1 abilities that currently are ready to go. We're going to have the shooter over here. We're going to have our Avalum pay that cube back to the supply to be able to activate this ability, and we're going to charge that skill, which means the next time we do it, we have to activate we have to play 2 cubes, which is hard to do so. We are going to lose 3 health, so we're going to go down from 55 to 52, but this says after roll, pay 3 health points, which I just did, add 3 to the attack roll's result. So this 2 will become a 5, which is enough to hit this Reaper Mystic over here. So now we are going to do our 7 damage, which is fine. We wanted to do 7, but 7 wasn't the main reason for that. Dropping him down to 23. We're also going to go ahead and have a move 3 an ally. So we're going to take this character out over here, and I think we're going to, how do we want to move this character? What is this guy going to attack? It's going to attack the one hero that is the furthest away. Is that the furthest away one? This is the furthest away. I have to remember these stats over here. The lowest HP, the most cubes, and the furthest away. So if we're attacking the heroes the furthest away, they're going to run that away, which means I think we want to try to move 1, 2, 3. I think we're going to go ahead and have this character going 1, 2, 3, moving them over there. That means both these people are going to have to deal with reaction damage as they run past them, which is a good thing. And so from there, we're going to then go ahead and you or an ally heal 6. So we're going to have an ally heal 6, which is going to have Dragori go from 53 to 59. And then because of our ability, if an ally is within 3 of you on your first of your turn, deal plus 5 damage, you can deal another 5 to blue, dropping blue down to 18. So things are going decently so far. We're all's well in the world of the Welcome to the Jungle, the world of Welcome to the Jungle. We are doing okay, and that's going to be our skill over here. So the skill is going to flip over. We've also utilized an ability. You can see those. I'm going to be using these more as things go. Whenever you kill enemies, whenever enemies die, you will earn more cubes. So that's going to be a helpful thing over there. Right now we have a bunch of these skills, and only some people have cubes to activate those skills. So overall good things. Oh, honestly, the tank ability could have been useful over here on an enemy turn too. Either way, we'll deal with things one at a time. So for right now, we're going to go ahead and resolve the blue enemy, because the blue enemy now wants to react, so he wants to attack one hero over here. So he's attacking the hero that's the furthest away, which means he does want to attack it over him. So he's going to run onto the map, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can get here just fine, so it's going to attack this enemy over here, but he is going to take reaction damage because he ran past Dragori not engaging with him. All heroes and enemies are going to take reaction damage when they run past people when they're directly adjacent to people and they don't deal with that person. So we're going to take 6 reaction damage, which means blue goes down another 6 from 18 down to 12. Is there anything I can do to bump that up? Because bumping it up would be good. Bumping it up would be very good. So let me see if there's something I can do to bump up a drop of damage. Bleeding 2 before roll, move 2. This loses start of turn. A hero. Okay, I can work with things. I can work with things. Maybe, possibly. We've done the Grix. We've done Dragori. We haven't even done Dragori yet. Dragori can operate there. Not necessarily. Heal 3, deal 2. Okay. We're gonna operate things. So this person is gonna be attacking the one with the least HP. Alright, lots of things to manage. I'm going to be charging forward as much as possible. In the meantime, that enemy is going to be moving forward and targeting against Nyx over here. So he's targeting Nyx. He's going to go ahead and roll his die. Nyx's defense is at a 7 over there. So we're going to be rolling against that. And we got a 7. Unfortunately, just enough to hit Nyx over here, which means he's going to go ahead and deal 15 damage plus an effect. Ouch. Blast 6. All heroes within 1 of the target take 6 damage. That's bad. That's bad. Is there anything I can do to modify that roll lower? Probably not. I should have, before roll, there's things you could do to protect over here, but I don't think there's anything to do after the roll for this situation. I could have done cursed. I could have done after roll. No, there's not a ton I can do over here. It is what it is. We take the damage. So we're going to go ahead and have take the damage. We're going to deal 15 damage against Nyx. Nyx is going to go down from 60 down to 45. And then we're going to have all heroes within 1 of Nyx, which are both of these, take 6 damage. Okay, 6 blast damage, which is not great. So that was way too much damage being dealt against us, but it is what it is. There's only so much you can do. 652 down to 48 over here, 46 over here. I don't know why I made up that math. And that is basically this enemy's turn. So that enemy's done over there, which means now we can react, and we can react on the villain's turn. We're going to go ahead and have the healer. The healer's going to go ahead and pay 5 HP. Right now, so she's going to lose 5 HP, 45 down to 41, 45 down to, you know what, actually, do I want to yet? I still have the opportunity to do so later. I think I'm going to hold off because there's reasons I want to do it. Effectively, I want to bring that hero to below 10 so that he can die in a single pulse. But that only actually helps me if I can realistically deal with the fact that this guy over here is going to attack the hero with the lowest HP, which is also Nyx. So I think I think we're good right now. We're gonna save things as is, and we're gonna see how things progress. So we're going to activate Grigori now. Grigori is going to activate next, and Grigori over here, where's Grigori? Grigori is this character over here, and she's done. So, Grigori, if enemy starters turn within one of you and declares an attack, you're shielded, and if an ally has attack, it flips an attack, and you move 2. That's useful-ish. So, we're going to go ahead and look at our attacks over here. We're trying to deal as much damage as possible to that guy, understanding that we won't be able to really kill him, but we can do what we can with it. So, we can pull for another enemy. That's useful-ish, but not totally, because anyways they're going to attack. They're going to be closing distance than us. You are protected 3 once per turn. Does that really help me? Not right now. Protected 3 doesn't really help me. We might do retaliation attack. +1 to attack, roll 9 damage, choose an enemy, the next time it resolves an attack, you run to it and make a basic attack against it. Ends if used, I like it. Retaliation attack it is. So, we're going to go ahead and do retaliation attack, which means we're attacking this guy over here. He has a defense of 5. We're going to roll against it with Grigori. Grigori's going to roll. And we got a 5, which is beautiful. For the record, we've been rolling abysmally bad. We happen to have been getting away with it so far. So, +1 to attack roll, so it's really a 6 anyway. We have 9 damage plus effect. Now, we haven't been doing a lot of moving over here. We really have the opportunity to move before we attack. We just haven't really been engaging with that quite as much right now, because we don't want to. So we're doing 9 damage against that orange guy, which means we need to find his token. His token's over here, 30 down to 21. And then plus effect, which his effect is going to be choose an enemy, the next time it resolves an attack, you run to it and make a basic attack against it, ends if used. So I think we're going to go ahead, I think we're going to deal with the Skeleton Guardian, maybe. Oh my gosh, Skeleton Guardian has an effect I don't like. Heal 7 the damaged ally with the lowest HP. I don't love that. I don't love that. Also, Grigori has plus, I forgot, Grigori has his token we gained in the earlier part, so we're going to actually give that away. He's going to deal 3 more damage against orange. 1, 2, 3. So that part's all good. And then orange is going to run past. Did I properly resolve everything? I think I did. So I think we're still good over there. I just need to choose which enemy I want to resolve this against. I think we'll do the Reaper, I guess. I don't think I'm going to be able to deal with the Skeleton Guardian, so it is what it is. We're going to put this onto the Reaper, and that's going to be our retaliation attack against the Reaper. Then what we're going to go ahead and have, we're going to have this Reaper is going to react, and because the enemy starters turn within one of you and declares an attack, which is what it's doing, we're going to be shielded 4. So we're now shielded 4 in case we take any damage. And if an ally is attacked, it flips an attack and you move 2, which is good. So that's going to be helpful because the ally is going to be attacked, and we get to move 2 as a result. So what's going to happen right now is we're going to go ahead, he's going to resolve him, and the timing of this is an interesting one, so I don't know if he moves first, declares an attack. I guess he moves first, so we're still going to have him. I don't think it matters because he's currently targeting the hero with the least HP, which is Nyx, and he's going to try to get to Nyx over here. I'm not confident if that's impassable terrain. I'm going to assume it is for right now, but I'm not sure about that. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think I can get to Nyx if that's impassable terrain. I'm not confident. We're going to move forward on that one. And so we're going to have them do a Dark Surge, going 1, 2, 3 to try to get to Nyx, to try to get to the closest one, which means we're simply going to move over here, nothing crazy over here. And then you're going to go 1, 2 to try to attack the closest. Oh, I'm not sure how that works over here. You know what? We're going to move. I don't know if this is going to work over here. So we're going to have that go there. You're going to take the reaction damage, which means 6 reaction damage. So we're going to go drop from 15 down to 9. And then we're going to go ahead and strike the Reaper, strike the Tactician, which means we're going to roll against that Tactician's defense, which is currently 7. I'm going to roll, and we got a 10. So it did successfully hit it, which means target loses 1 cube. So the Tactician is unfortunately going to lose a cube and take 15 damage. So we're going to drop from 54 to 39. There we go. That is going to be this person's turn. Also, I should be tracking these, by the way, because these 3 over here have activated, which means they will not activate again. But now, we still have to deal with the other enemies, and this character is still in play, so we need to figure out what to do now, because we have one character who has not activated, which is our Tactician. Which is a shame, because the Tactician had a cube a second ago, and we need to figure this out. So, let's take a look at our cubes over here. If an ally is within one of the target, first hit of your turn, that's not great over here, because I don't have that aspect. We're not going to be able to deal with that, because I'm not dealing with that over here. I need to make sure the Tactician misses effectively. So, can I curse anyone? We're going to go ahead. I could have cursed somebody if I had used that the turn over there. Before roll, target is cursed. That I should have done things differently, but it is what it is right now. We will still move confidently forward, which means we have the tank. The tank is doing that. Move to an enemy. You move 2, start of turn. You move 4, charge a skill token. I think we're good in the tank right now. So we need to try to figure out how to... The tactician is just not in a great spot. Let's see. We have a ranged ability. We have a ranged ability. I'm fine with this. Okay, great. So we have a ranged ability right now. We have Eye of the Augur over here. If active on you, end Web of the Augur. Web of the Arachne. Oh. Interesting. These are interesting skills. I've not really looked into these characters enough, by the way. 24 damage plus effect. All effects an enemy would apply to one of its allies in 5 of you are applied to you instead. Interesting. If active on you, end... Interesting. All effects an enemy would apply on one of its allies and 5 of you apply to you instead. That is interesting indeed. So I think we're gonna play the Eye of the Augur, and we're going to go ahead and resolve this. Do we want to attack this person? We may as well try to take them out because these people die pretty quickly. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do this. 24 damage. We're going to deal 24 damage against this character over here, or attempt to deal 24 damage. And the way that's going to work is we're going to play Eye of the Augur, which is going to do the following. 24, 29, I think we're good at that. So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to play this card, and we're going to attack this guy who has a defense of 5. We're going to roll our orange die over here. We just need to get at least a 5. Please get at least a 5. And we got a 20. 20 is going to be a critical hit, so we're going to deal plus 5. So we're doing 24 damage. Plus 5 is going to be 29. Plus 4 is going to be 30. Plus 4 is 29, is going to be 34. So he just went from 35 to 31, which is actually excellent. I don't want him dead. That's actually good. And then you heal 4 if the target is not fatigued, meaning effectively if they haven't activated yet, I can heal 4, which is good because I need the healings. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're good on that sense over there. And now that's going to be an active card that stays in play. That's going to effectively give us the benefit that whenever all effects an enemy would apply on one of its allies within 5 of you are applied to me instead. So that's basically a good thing in theory, unless it applies negative effects. So could be good. That's going to be Eye of the Augur in play. Sometimes getting your ultimates in play quickly can be a very good thing. There's a negative aspect we'll talk about later. We don't have to deal with it right now. So that's going to be her turn. She's doing great over here. I have everything all lined up. Perfect. Okay. And that means now we are done with our turn, and we have to activate this enemy down here. So the enemy is going to activate, and it has retaliation attack. Oh my gosh, next time it resolves attack, you run to it and make a basic attack against you. So that's slightly unfortunate, I guess. I am actually going to be killing it, I think. That's actually annoying. So right now, it's going to activate, but I currently have retaliation attack instead. So I'm going to run towards it. Run to it, make a basic attack. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. So I'm going to run 1, 2, 3, 4 over here, and I'm going to attack it, just doing a basic attack. Basic attack uses your basic stat, which means I'm just basically doing 6 damage to it, but I'm doing 6 damage, and it still has defense of 5, so we just need to, hit it, and we're good. 6 damage. Also, basic attacks have a +1 to their attack, so it's really an attack of 7, which means this guy is dead. So, this Reaper is going to die, which is a good thing in theory. We'll take this card and put it back into our deck, which means going to the reverse side, and we are all going to gain a mana cube. So right now we're going to gain a cube. I don't know if they're called mana cubes. We're going to gain a cube. They are called mana cubes. They're mana cubes. We're going to gain those back over here because an enemy is dead, and that's great. We're doing great on the Reapers over here. That part's all fine, and the only problem, though, is we are now out of our turns. So now it's time for the enemy turn. The last enemy standing is going to be this enemy over here, the Skeleton Guardian, and they are currently empowered. Because of the fact that they did not activate, because we didn't trigger damage on them at the end of our turn, they're going to be able to run towards us and be able to deal more damage, basically treating their attacks. They're considered to be an unprovoked enemy, which means they'll deal +5 damage. So, we're going to go ahead and have them run towards their enemy. They're attacking the hero with the most cubes, which is going to, again, be the tank or the healer because of the most cubes. And from those, the healer is closer, so she's going to run towards the healer. 1, 2 over here, which means I could possibly try to use this ability over here. Before roll, run 5 to the enemy, you become its target, it can attack you. I like the idea of that. I do like the idea of that. So I think what we'll probably try to do to protect our healer is we're going to activate this cube over here. So we're going to spend this, and then before the roll, we're going to run 5 to the target. So it's going to... Theoretically, it still moves there, but we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and get closer to the target, and now they're going to attack us. It's before the roll. Maybe not. Maybe I won't do it. I will not do it. We're going to keep that back. Roll before the roll means it's not before the start of the turn. So I can't benefit from my shielded over there. So I'm going to ignore it. I'm just going to let them attack Nyx. She's fine. She can take the damage. Nyx has a defense of 7. He's currently rolling against a... We have to do that over there. We have to remember to do that. We have to pay 5 HP. We can do that in the enemy turn. We are fine there. We could curse the enemy before roll. So we're going to curse the enemy, I think. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to... Oh, this enemy's dead over here. This token's gone. We're going to curse the enemy right now. So we're going to use this ability. We're going to pay this in. And the enemy in question is now cursed, which means they're going to roll twice and select their lower roll. And this ability is now charged. We are now going to deal with his attack against Nyx. Nyx is currently over here. She has a defense of 7, and it's going to be rolling against that. And we just need one of these rolls to be less than a 7. It's a 9, darn it, and then a 15. So unfortunately, it did hit on those rolls, which is really unfortunate. We're going to have to see how this messes with our plans, because I think it does mess with our plans. Could I have done anything else? I could have done before roll heroes protected. I'm silly. I'm silly. It's too late now, though. I'm not going to undo it. So what I will do, I do have options, though. I do have options. So we're going to have over here is we're going to have this enemy, who's the lowest, heal by 7, so 7 to 14, and it's also going to deal 11 damage in general, which means Nyx is going to go from 35 to 34. So that's done over there, which means right about now, we have to deal with our turn effects. So we've already done a tactician's turn. You can only use one of your abilities per enemy turn and per ally turn. So right now it is the enemy's turn, which means we're dealing with this enemy. Let's put a little cube on these to show them that they're activating. But right now we have to deal with this enemy. Oh, it deals plus 5 damage because unprovoked. I need to remember that. 29. This is what I mean when I say it's easy to forget things in this game. It's easy to miss things. But we're going to do a few things over here. We're going to activate. We need to make sure that we get their health down. 14. So I think we're going to go ahead and do... We're going to start by having this character, the shooter, pay 4 health to make a basic attack. So 4 health is gone over here. They're going to go from 46 to 42 and make a basic attack against the red enemy because we want to try to bring his health down, and we just need to do a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and roll. It's a +1 because basic attacks are +1, which means we basically are going to be doing 8 damage, and we're doing against a 5 defense. We just need to roll a 4. We rolled an 18. We are good to go. So 4 damage against the red guy, which means 8 damage against the red guy. Is that basic attacks? Yep. 14 down to 6. That's excellent. Then we're going to use this ability over here to pay 5 HP, heal 4 an ally, and deal 4 damage to an enemy. We're going to deal 4 damage to the blue guy, bringing him down to 8. We're going to heal 4 an ally, not her because we have to use someone else. In fact, we have to pay 5 HP, 29 down to 24. Nyx is in trouble. And we're going to heal 5 on the shooter, heal 4 an ally, so 42, 46, and we are good there. And now everything is done. That was a lot of work. Hopefully you track most of those things. Also, I may have missed the grounded ability over here. I'm going to go ahead. This is the tricky part. So I missed something over here. I'm going to move forward with it just because I don't want to backtrack a bunch of things. But this enemy over here, these enemies all have no effect. This enemy does have an effect. If the enemy moved 2 or less... Well, actually, I could try to get this easily. If this enemy moved 2 or less and didn't sidestep, deal +2 damage +2 on the target's pool. So that would have done actually 6 more damage against Nyx. That's easy to actually replicate. So we're going to resolve that. That was their ability over here. We want this enemy to move on its turn in order to minimize how much damage it does. He targets the person with the most cubes and then deals damage based on how many cubes there are. So now we trigger end of round effects, which means we can go ahead and take a look over here. The end of round effects are going to be as follows. All villains in the camp room tile take damage equal to the value of the XP token. The value of the XP token is currently at 10, which means all of these people who are below 10 are going to immediately die. They're just gone, which means a bunch of things are going to happen. We're going to get 3 cubes into our pools each. So we are powering up our pools over here. This is going to be a lot of fun to be able to use those next turn. These 3 skeletons, Reapers over here, we set them up to take a lot of damage. Now, the downside is we have to die in order for this to happen. We have not die, we have to be attacked in order for this to happen. We have to be willing to take damage from the enemies. We're going to put these off to the side over here. I'm sure they'll be making their appearances back soon enough, but for right now, they're gone. Then we're going to, we have to also deal 10 damage to this guy because he's still taking 10 damage. Just because he didn't get attacked till now, he's still going to deal with that. Then a hero must pay 2 or the orb takes 10 damage. So that's easy enough. We're going to pay 2. We're going to actually have our tank pay 2 so that the orb does not take 10 damage. And then place 1 Reaper of any color not already in play outside the camp room tile, but as close to it as possible and in a free square. So I think given the situation, we're going to go ahead and have it pop over here into this this spot over here. Although I can make an argument. Did I ever have When I had Nyx be attacked from this circle protection, she should have actually refreshed her attack, which means she has that back. So that's a refreshed attack, which could be a good thing, or could be a bad thing, honestly. Oh, flips an attack. Flips an attack is actually, we're going to flip an attack faster to cycle through. We could go ahead and we're going to flip this attack. We're going to flip that attack. Okay, so right now, we currently have to deal with the fact that we have to place a Reaper in play. I didn't love the Reapers to begin with, but I think the one I disliked the least is the plain red Reaper. So we're going to have the plain red Reaper pop back into play. We're going to have them pop back into play, I guess, over here. There might be opportunities to do... No, we're going to pop them over here. That's going to be good for our character here. Push them into that spot there. Again, that will be helpful. And then we're going to put this person, these are now all gone, and they're going to put the red token back onto 35. Reapers, like I said already, are constantly spawning. I expect that Reaper to die over here. It's also worth noting, because we killed 3 Reapers in a single mana pool, we've already cycled this. We've already set ourselves up for the special being resolved. So, that was round 1. Round 2. And now we have to start getting our hands on the barrels. Round 2 is all management, trying to stay alive. Now we have to get to the point where we can actually get our hands on the barrel. We have to be mindful of the fact, and I may have messed up. Again, this is where lots of these things mess up easily here. This is considered a hero for all purposes. It may have been the target of other things. I don't know necessarily. I'd have to look. Hero's target, I think, is the most HP. That might have made it a target. It might have, well, the Reaper, it might have made it a target. I'm not sure. I have to look at it. I don't know if it was or wasn't a target. I may have messed up a bit. But, in the meantime, we are still trying to move forward over here, which means we need barrels. We need to start moving around the board, and so we're going to start the next round, and the next round is going to start with us pushing this Reaper over here. We want to push into the pool again, deal a bunch of damage, and try to resolve that way. And so we're going to find a skill that helps us here. We have push to the target. Lots of pushing over here. Target is distracted. That could be useful over here. Distract is going to be -3 to attack roll. That's not bad. Let's go ahead and deal that one. We're going to go ahead and do Distracting Shot. So we're going to do Distracting Shot right now, and it's going to be combining this ability, which of course plus our regular power. We're resolving against this character over here, and so, oh no. Oh no. The problem is we want to be focused, but we can't actually be focused right now because this character's in play. Do I need to be focused? I don't need to be focused. I need to roll a 5. We should be fine. That's an 18. Perfect. So we rolled an 18 over here, which means it's going to be 11 damage. Then it's going to push to the target and deal +8 damage because it took terrain damage, which means it's going to be 11 + 8 + 4 for the spikes. That's going to be 12, 23 damage against this Reaper over here. He's already going down from 35 down to 23 to 12 health left. Then the target is additionally distracted, so we're going to put a little negative token on it over here. We're going to pop that down into his board, so he cannot see right now, and not see us well right now. And this skill is going to flip. And that was excellent. I'm very happy with that turn. That was excellent. A good turn. We also can move our enemies back and play a bit because we have a little bit more space right now, at least for right now. So this person has a skill in play. We're going to move this around over here. Give me a second to just move things a drop and deal with the situation. Great. That was the first enemy to activate. We activated the blue. We didn't move again, which honestly we should have moved. I'm gonna retcon a drop and move. Nothing crazy because I didn't rely on distracting. I'm just gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think that would have been enough to hit. That would still be enough to hit. So I'm gonna just move there. I'm just trying to work my way towards the barrel because it works. It makes sense. In the meantime, that was that turn done. We still have to deal with the fact that this is still resolving. It's going to target the hero with the most HP. Now, the hero with the most HP is going to be this model over here. This is where we're actually going to do it correctly this time. And so, because the model's over here, so we're going to go ahead and have them go 1, 2, 3, 4, walking past him, and therefore taking the 6 reaction damage. So we're going to go from 12 down to 6. And so now the real question is, what things can I do on their turn to take him out before he touches the orb? Because that's where these skills come into play as far as different fun little things. I think we're going to go ahead and spend 2 over here, because we're going to spend 2 to do that 4 basic attack. We're going to pay 4 health, going 1, 2, 3, 4, and make a basic attack from him to him, and resolve that using the turn villain cycle over here. And we're going to just roll a die on a health of 5, a basic attack that's +1. We just need a 4+. 4+, we got a 7 over here, which means we just did 8 damage to this guy before he attacks. So 8 damage, he's going to drop down to 0, and he's once again out of play. Even though he was technically distracted, still worthwhile, and we'll all get a cube back into play. So doing great over there. Cube management is doing really well. Those Reapers are nice little spawn, and now we could try to figure out the next person's turn. So this guy's out of play again. We'll just keep him around for right now because he'll probably be necessary. And we still have this enemy to deal with in some way, shape, or form. That's where we need Nyx over here. So let's take a look over here at our tactician, and let's see what skills we have. I have some degree of range over here that I could work with. Move an enemy, move one an enemy within 3 of you. 9 damage. You must apply Blessed on the target once per turn. Oh. Make a range 2 Aberrant Madness if it has no allies. This is interesting. I'm trying to figure out how this works. Temporary. Enter the start of Ravel's next turn. Okay, I can work with this one. Or Vitalis Sword. No, I'm going to go ahead and do Apparent Madness. So I'm going to do Apparent Madness over here. And Apparent Madness is going to the following. It has a 2 square range, so we could go ahead and attack. Do I want to move first? Why am I not moving at all? I'm like really not moving in the slightest, which is interesting over here. That person is going to target the hero with the most cubes. The hero with the most cubes is Nyx. I don't want Nyx targeted. I do not want Nyx targeted. That seems like a mistake. But I could resolve that. I could resolve that with this. But then it's still a problem because you have so many cubes. So, give me a second over here. Give me a second now. I need to get my story straight. Start of turn, pay 4 HP. Target is bleeding 2. I can work with this to a degree. 20. I can work with this. I need 8 range. I don't want him activating yet. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to have any attack right now. I'm not going to do an attack from Nyx over here. We're just going to ignore that attack option. And she's going to move 8. She's going to move, her move is 6. So she's going to double her movement to be able to move as far as possible to be able to get one of these barrels. So to that end, or should we just do Dragori? Dragori has a movement of 6. We're going to have Dragori go ahead and move right now. So Dragori is going to move 12 right now. And Dragori is going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I think I may have had to spend 1 more to not cross that, but I have 10 over there. We're going to interact with the barrels, which is 10 over here, and we are going to go ahead and resolve an event. So we just did that over there. We just resolved our first barrel. We still have 2 characters who haven't activated. We're going to slide down the ones who have, so we can track who's going. And Dragori went ahead and activated the barrel. So remove barrel A, start event 1. No, can't do that. You can only interact with the barrel when the enemies are all dead, except for the Reapers. Which means, give me a second. Which means we're going to undo that turn over here because I have to kill that enemy first. So, so much for that plan over there. Enemy actually has to die first, which means I guess we're attacking that guy. Okay. We are going to go ahead and have... Let me move 4, charge 1. This loses 4. Okay. We're going to start the following. We're going to have her do the original plan we started with. So we're going to do that attack I mentioned, the Apparent Madness. But we're going to start with the fact that start of turn, we're going to spend a cube, and this ally loses 4 movement points, and a villain takes 4 damage. So we're just basically pinging this guy for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're doing that because she's not moving anyway. Then she's going to attack over here, and she's attacking with this ability, which is 2 squares away. And her defense is going to be 6 defense, which means we need to roll a 6. Which we got a 4, which is beautiful. The plus side, though, is we can spend these 2 shooters over here, and then do after roll, pay 3 HP, add +3 to the attack roll's result. So we can make this a 7 by playing 3 HP, 1, 2, 3, which is something we always like to do, but we are out of cubes on our shooter. And we're going to go ahead and allies in 1 target, first hit of the turn, so we hit over here, deal +4 damage, and you heal 4 if the target is not fatigued. So Nyx is going to heal 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, deal +4 damage, which means we're going to deal 9 damage +4 for a total of 13. 13 against the guy over here means 36 down to 23. Then you may move an enemy within 3 of you. That's the benefit over here. I think the benefit comes with 4. Sorry, the benefit should have come with first in general. We are going to go ahead and do, you must apply Blessed to the target once per turn. But because we're applying Blessed to the target, the Eye of the Augur means we're instead going to apply Blessed to us. So we're going to give ourselves Blessed over here. If I can find it over here, one of these tokens. One of these tokens is Blessed, I believe, but I'm not sure where it is. So we're just going to go ahead and throw one of these onto ourselves over here. Where's the Blessed condition? It's not actually listed. Roll twice, use the best result. So it's going to be apply Blessed to the target. So we're going to get this next time, I guess, in theory. Attacking with a card. Then make a range 2 basic attack against the target if it has no allies within 2. So we are going to go ahead and make a range 2 basic attack, which means we are going to roll for a 7 basic attack. And again, we just need a 6 defense. We need to roll a 5. We got a 16. We're going to do 7 damage against that enemy. 7, 23 down to 16 over here. And that's overall pretty decent. Although this is going to be on the target, and it has to apply Blessed to the target once per turn, although we're going to ignore that and take it ourselves. Then we're going to have this ally activate, but we are going to do a few things first. We're going to go ahead, and he wants to attack and activate Nyx over here, and we have to figure out how to make that work the most effectively. But I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to activate the following. So this should be over here. We're going to go ahead and pay a cube. He's going to go ahead and activate, and he's going to try to activate him. We will pay a cube to run 5 to the target. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And then, because he ran 5, he's going to go ahead and take the hit, and so we're now going to become the target. He's going to roll against Dragori, which means he needs to roll against an 8 defense. And he rolled a 13, which means he's going to go ahead, and he didn't move at all, so he will deal plus 6. Plus 2 for his default ability, plus for the 2 cubes. So he's going to deal 11 plus 6 over here, which is going to be 17 damage against Dragori. Dragori is going to take that 17 damage, meaning for 59 down to 42. Then we're going to heal 7 the damage to the target with the lowest HP, which is going to be him, bringing him to 23, and that is his turn. We've now resolved 2 of our characters' turns, and we still have 2 characters left to go, which means I think it's time for Nyx to take a turn. Nyx wants to go ahead and go, and the reason Nyx can go because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, I think we're going to have Nyx go ahead and go. And this character did activate. We can put an activation cube on them, so there, which already has one actually from last time. And Nyx is going to go ahead and try to take them out if possible. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I feel like I'm passing close to the target. Okay. Choose an enemy. It ignores all helpful conditions and takes 3 damage at the end of all its turns. That's a useful... Oxygen Siphon is a useful ability, but not right now. Right now we're trying to deal... I don't know if we'll be able to deal enough. He has 23. We have an ally's turn over here. We can go ahead and try to give opportunities. Mob. Oh, we have mob. We have mob right now, so that's good. So let's do this. We're going to go ahead and do the following. We're going to play Circle of Healing. Yeah, we're going to play Circle of Healing over here. So we're going to play Circle of Healing against the target, and we're going to do the following. We're going to attack this guy. It's got a health of 6. We're going to play Circle of Healing. We need to do the defensive 6. So we need to do a defensive 6. We need to roll a 6 over here. We're going to roll a 10. That's perfect. So a 10 is enough to deal damage, so we're going to deal 8 damage to the target. But, and this over here is going to be 8 damage, 23 down to, it's 8, 15 over here. We're also going to deal plus 5 though, because of that ability over there. Then we're going to heal 2 heroes. So we're going to heal ourselves, because we're basically all but dead. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to heal 1, 2, 3 over there. So we're healing up a bit. And that's going to be this skill over here. And we trigger this because an ally is within 3 of you on the first of your turn. But we're going to do more than that because we're going to look over here on the Tactician's turn. And after roll, pay 2 HP. And then deal plus 3 damage or plus 7 if it's with mob or focus. And we do have mob because we have 2 enemies surrounding the enemy. So we're going to go ahead and deal plus 7 against the target, which means you're going to go from 10 to down to 3 over here. And then we should have another way to be able to deal 3 more damage. And I think we can do that with... I don't know if we could. Can we do that? We could go ahead and activate the tank's ability again, spending another 2 cubes to go ahead and lose the 4 movement points, because we didn't move anyway. And then this target takes 4 damage. That's going to be able to kill the target, which means the target is now dead. He did that, and I think we're good on that sense, so he's gone from the board. And then we are now free to be able to have Dragori over here go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is taking the barrel off the board. So we got the barrel off the board. By the way, this barrel should be back on the board over here. We took the barrel off the board. There are no enemies on the board. We all should have a cube back as well. And then we already have max cubes on the healer over there, which is ridiculous. Can we do anything? No, we should have done things on the other person's turn. Whatever. Anyways, we are going to go ahead and go and take a look at what to read. Start event 1. So, event number 1, we're going to be placing down skeletons 24B. So we need some of our cards over here. We have a bunch of these cards off to the side. We're going to be placing some people into play. So let's go ahead and move this Reaper. You know what? Honestly, there's a lot of things we have to manage here. This guy's gone. This guy's gone. We can put him off to the side over here ish, maybe. We're gonna have to figure this out over there in a second. So give me a second to put this all out in play. But basically, we're gonna put the skeleton 24B into play, which means skeleton guardian 24B. Alright, so we have our skeleton mystic in play right now. This is gonna be our first character that goes in play, which means we need one of these skeletons over here. We need to give him a base that's a little different, and we're going to put him down into play on this spot over here. So it's going to go over here, which is right next to that guy, which is not the best. And we're going to put a health token into play because his health is currently 50. That's number one. Then we have to put the Halfling Riders, 09A, into play. The Halfling Riders. So 09A is going to be our second enemy in play. We're going to deal with all this. And this is going to be another base over here with this time one of these over here. So we got this guy. He's going to be 55 health. He's going to be a Halfling Rider. 09A. Where is he coming in the board? He's coming in 09. Wow, right over here. Right over here. Do they have specific? Oh, one second. They may have specific. I may have done... Oh, there's specific things. I apologize. We just need to do this differently. Sorry. We need to remove barrel B. Barrel B is event 2. So it's specific barrel. It's not the first barrel, which means that Halfling Rider on the skeleton can come out of play right now. It's just totally fine. We can move these. I'm going to put down, instead, place skeleton 23O. So we're going to place this skeleton in play. And we're going to change that up a bit. The Halfling Rider can move out. The skeleton is going to go into play. We have this guy going on 23O down over here. And we're also going to put his token, which I had a second ago. Or I could have sworn I had a second ago. I could have sworn I had a second ago. Here we go. It's going to go on 55. 55 there. Then Halfling Riders 09R. So 09R for Halfling Riders. We're going to put this one, and this one, and this one. So 09R is going to be over here. We're going to put this guy over here. And again, his card is going to be Halfling Riders. Let's find them. 09R. Okay, he's going to be 50 health over here. That's the wrong disc over here. We need this one. Then we need, lastly, 10B. 10B is going to be Halfling Riders again. We're going to put this down over here. And we're going to put that Halfling Rider into play, which is going to be this one. And it's going to be 50 health again. And 10 is going to be over here. So the Halfling Riders are chasing us down. And that's going to be 50 again. We have to deal with all of those people. So let's go ahead and move some cards over here so we don't have to deal too much with what's going on. We still might need our skeletons, unfortunately. Our Reapers, I mean. So we're going to have these all available and in play. But that is effectively it. Then one villain within 8 of the orb takes 20 damage. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. One villain within 8 of the orb takes 20 damage. So who has the highest defense from this? The Halfling Riders. The Halfling Riders have defense for sure. So we definitely want to take down... Oh, these are all going to activate. Oh, this is a big deal. I screwed up. I did this at the end of the round. Which means they're all going to activate now. It is what it is. We're going to go ahead and have the blue Halfling Rider or the red Halfling Rider take 20 damage. So we're going to have that go down to 30, which is not bad. I'll take that little ping over there. But we still have things to do. And that is it. We don't read any text. We're just going to go ahead and that's it. Rule reminder, bleeding 2 token. Take 2 damage for each square you enter by spending movement points. Oh, that's for each hero gains 2 bleeding. That's a different thing. Okay. Oh, we don't actually finish the quest when you remove the barrel. You have to kill all the villains they generate. So, the good news is we got the first barrel down. The bad news is we did this right as these people spawn, which means we need to note to ourselves we should clear the barrels at the end of each round, because otherwise, bad things happen. Because right about now, bad things are going to happen. So, we're going to go ahead and activate the enemies. We're going to start with the skeleton Noxious over here. This guy's going to go ahead and activate. He wants to target the hero with the least HP. That is definitely going to be the green guy over here. His movement is only 5 though, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can't get there. Because he can't get there, he's going to immediately take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3, and instead target the hero who's closest, which I believe is going to be this guy here. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and head over there to try to target that guy, which means we are going to go ahead and take that damage, which means Dragori, you're rolling against Dragori, has a defense of 8, and so that enemy is going to go ahead and roll, and we got a hit of 3. So it's still going to deal residual damage. Its residual damage is going to be, 5 damage, or 8 damage over here. 8 residual damage against Dragori. So Dragori is still going to take a chunk of damage right now. 42 down to 36 over here. 42 down to 34, I mean. And at least that person is done activating. Now, we do have enemy turns right now. We do have to respect the fact that we have enemy turns, so we should probably try to think things through. We should use our heal a hero on. We're going to use, sure, let's go ahead and spend this over here and flip this token and heal 3 a hero. We're going to heal ourselves. 1, 2, 3. Any other activations we can do? We can move 3 a villain. That's actually not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Too far away, you cannot use it right now. We could have Dragori go. Before roll, run 5 to the villain. That doesn't help us, unfortunately. And then lastly, start of turn, pay 4 HP. That's not bad. That might be worth doing. Okay, let's see if we can do that. So right about now, we're going to take a look at who's activating next. The Halfling Rider is attacking the hero with the most HP. The most HP is probably going to be this one, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It cannot move far enough, which means instead it's going to take 3 damage. So we're going to go ahead and activate this over here. Start of turn, pay 4 HP. Target is bleeding. So we're going to lose 4 health, going down to 46 to 42. And this target is going to do bleeding, which means it takes 2 damage per space it moves. Now, because it can't hit anything, it's going to instead become enraged. So it's going to take 3 damage and go down to 27 because it cannot reach its target with the most HP. And now it's going to target the closest target, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to only move 4, unfortunately, but it's still going to go over here 4 to attack this target, which means it's going to lose 8 health, dropping to 19, which is good. I can work with that. Oh, also I have to do something, which I forgot about. We'll deal with that shortly. But then right now, we have to figure out what's next. We move to the target. Are there other things we can do? Not really. Not that I can think of. Run 5. Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. I think we're going to go ahead and continue with, we still have to do end of round effects. Jeez. But at least he's in the clearing there. So right now he's going to attack, and he's going to resolve his effect. He's going to push for the target. That's fun. So he's going to be attacking our Nyx over there. So we're hoping he rolls less than a 7 for the defense. And he rolled a 6, which is beautiful. So he's going to miss and deal 8 residual damage still. Also, I need to remember these effects over here. Another hero is within 2 of the target. That was not relevant. No other heroes within 1 of the target. That is not relevant. So it's going to be 8 damage to Nyx over here. Nyx is going to go down to 24 to 16. This one's going to go ahead and target the furthest target it can reach. And since it's only the furthest target it can reach, that's only going to be Dragori, just based on where he is. So I don't think there's anything we can do as far as effects that will help us. We can do before roll is protected, but I don't think that's relevant. So we're going to go ahead and target Dragori, which means 1, 2, just to Dragori. That's all we need over there. In fact, it only needs to move 1 to be able to within reach because of the spear effect. And it's going to roll against Dragori, and it's going to need to roll an 8. We want a lower than an 8. We rolled a 19, which is bad. Also, small details. This guy deals... No, they missed. These guys all missed. They don't have to worry about that. But that one means it's going to hit, which means it's going to do 15 plus the 5 because it's unprovoked over here. So we're going to go ahead and deal 20 damage to Dragori. Dragori is going to take 20 damage, geez, down to 14. Things are not looking good for our intrepid heroes over here. Now it's going to Echo 7, another hero closest and within 8 of this enemy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is unfortunately going to deal 7 damage to Nyx over here. Wow, our team is definitely not doing the best right now. We need some healing. Now, disengaged, no other villain is within 1 of the target. That part is unfortunately true, so we do have a villain within 1 of the target, so we're fine on that. These Halfling Riders, I'm not scared of them right now. I'm scared of the next 2 waves of Halfling Riders when Dragori and Nyx are... Oh my gosh, I've been forgetting my equipment. I have weapons and gear and armor that I haven't been using at all, which is a problem. We'll deal with that problem. We'll deal with that later. Anyways, in the meantime, we have a new wave to go. But first things first is going to... Let's resolve the thing I said a second ago, which is when I took that barrel. Whenever a hero interacts with a chest or a barrel, put 1 protected token on one of this hero's... Oh, a chest or a barrel. Holy hell, I've been messing up. We'll figure it out now. I could have been doing so much better. Put a protected token on one of this hero's level 3 skills. So we're going to put a protected token on one of... Basically, we interact with a barrel as Dragori. We're going to take one of these tokens and put it on a level 3 skill for Dragori, and a hero may remove a protect token to increase the orb's XP by 3, then the orb uses that skill. So the orb is going to be powering up. But right now, we could do an ally is shielded 18. That's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. I think it's going to be very helpful right now because of this situation. So we're going to deal with that. That is a good situation. I like it. Push 3. These level 3 skills are insanely cool. In the meantime, 14 damage against red. That could be better. Honestly, it's probably better. We're going to go ahead and put this over here on the... an enemy takes 14 damage, because we'll be able to deal with that guy pretty easily then. But we need to figure out the sequence here, because right now we're a bit worried about Grigori. Grigori's kind of off on its own over there. And we got to deal with things. So, but in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and now deal with the fact that the orb's going to deal 10 damage to everyone here. So this guy's going to drop from 9 to 19 over here. It's going to drop down there. But then we also have to give up 2 cubes, which we're going to have the range to give up 2 cubes to prevent the orb taking damage, which is a good thing. All things are good over there. We're managing okay. The only problem is we need to go ahead and put a Reaper into play, which we're going to grab that level 3 Reaper, the basic Reaper, and put him into play right now and drop his health disc on 35. And we now have another Reaper outside the circle of trust, which is not the best. We're going to probably continue to do our general cycle of how we deal with that Reaper. But I think for right now, we're good in terms of starting off there. We just need to deal with the barrel situation, and we can't engage with the barrels until we kill the enemies, which is a problem, because life. So, we have a few options. I think we're going to go with our starting move that we've generally done. Avalon's going to go ahead and target this Reaper to try to get him out of play and just stop him from being an issue. So Avalon's going to look at his skills over here and take a look at what we got. We got made during the target turn. Oh, interesting. Counterspell, Shockwave, up to 2 enemies, 16 damage per hit plus effect. You may move any other target up to 3 squares each. That could be very useful. We'll save it for later. 12 damage, or ignore all harmful. 2 other enemies within range take 3 damage each. That's not the worst. Dealing 3 damage could be impactful enough. I think I can work with that. Ish, maybe. I don't know. There's lots I can do over here. But we probably should move first, because we're trying to get closer to... No, we're not going to move. We're not going to move. We're just going to stay where we are. It's okay. Which means we can do an empowered thing. So, we are... basically, we have +3 to the roll, because of the nature of the fact that we are currently going to not move, and we don't have enemies within 3 of us. And so we're going to go ahead and do Arcane... I guess we could just do 10 damage. And then 2 other enemies within range take 3 damage each. Yeah, sure, let's do that. Why not? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do this effect over here. Magic Missile. We're going to attack this guy. It's a +3, which means if we miss, it is just the worst day ever. And we're going to roll. It's got a 15. This guy's going to be hit. It's going to deal 10 damage to him. 10 damage down to 25. Because it's going to be our first target of the turn, we're going to go ahead and knock him within 1, which means it's going to deal 4 damage for the train, plus another 8, so 12 damage, 25 down to 13. We're also going to deal 3 damage to this guy, because rules, 1, 2, 3, which means now it's time for this guy to activate, and when this guy activates, what we're going to do is he's going to try to activate to target the hero with the most HP. Now, we can do that, the only thing is instead, do I even care? Maybe I don't care, maybe I don't care actually. Maybe I don't mind playing certain games. Because right now he's done. That part's fine. But I don't mind if he hits the... we're going to have him hit the target with most HP. Hit the orb. What do I care? So he's going to go ahead and run. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 and hit the orb. So when he hits the orb, what he's going to go ahead and do, he's going to... I really should be interacting with that quest. There's no reason not to. So he's going to be hitting the orb, and he's going to roll a die, and he's going... The orb has a defense of 6. Which means he hits the orb for his 18 damage. The orb goes from 70 down to 52. Now we do need to be a little mindful of the orb, because the orb can't afford to die, but we definitely have some freedom as far as how this operates, and now he's going to die at the end of the turn, which is the nice part. We're going to put a cube on him to indicate that he's activated, and now we need to figure out the next person. We've also activated our hero there, and we have 3 more heroes to activate, and we need to think through how we want to handle this. So first of all, do we want to do anything during the enemy's turn? Can we do anything during the enemy's turn? We can move 3 an enemy, that's fine. Doesn't help us enough. We could curse them, doesn't really help us there. No. We could pay 5 HP, heal 4 an ally, and deal 4 damage to an enemy. I don't want to pay 5 HP on the healer. Nyx needs her health points at this point. Oh. No, nothing. I thought something for a second, but I was wrong. Okay. We need to kill more stuff. How can we manage this? We want Nyx to go. What is Nyx going to do? Nyx has 8 squares. She can sidestep 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not bad. It's not the best, though. but I could work with that. Okay, let's do it. It just feels not the best. Give me a second. We're going to work with Nyx first over here. Nyx is trying to figure out how to hurt the enemies. She doesn't have any good ranged abilities right now. She has... Where's her ultimate go? Oh, Apparent Magist. This is over here. This can go away. I have to take the reaction damage. 1, 2... Oh, that's not the worst. I can do that. 1, 2, 3. Nope, still reaction damage there. So I'm trying to plot this out in a way that has me not... I need that guy dead, unfortunately. And he needs to take 6 health to die. And I don't see a way to deal just 6 damage offhand. I can deal 2 from there, but I need 4 more. Okay? This is a problem. I'm not seeing a great way to just deal with stuff. The target is not fatigued. I might just have to take the 4 damage. Okay, so I think we're going to have... I don't like it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not enough. Never enough. Never, never. Alright, I think we're going to go ahead and have Nyx operate. So, what Nyx is going to do is she's going to sidestep for her turn. Sidestep is an action where you can simply step 1 away, and you don't take reaction damage by doing so. So she's going to sidestep over here, which is excellent. All things are good in that sense. Then she's going to be able to target this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She's going to be able to target that enemy with an 8 range attack. And she could do target heals 20, moves 3, and makes a primary attack. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm going to have to save that for later. Vitality Juice Box, oh my gosh. We're going to go ahead and do this effect over here. So, we are going to do a +3 to attack if you are the combatant close to the target. We're not, but we're attacking this guy over here. We're going to roll our dice. It's got a 7 defense, which I don't love. 7 defense, let's hope for the best. We got a 5. Of course we did, which means we are unfortunately going to miss on that. That is not good. It means we're going to do 15 residual damage. There is the plus side of missing there. We're going to deal 15 residual damage to that attack, but we lose our special as a result of that. And so we're going to go ahead and move this 15 from 50 down to 35. Now he is going to activate, unfortunately. He's going to attack the furthest hero within reach. The closest they have, which is basically, again, going to be this guy. Unfortunately, oh my gosh, this is a problem. I've done screwed up. This is a problem. We're going to have to deal with this. So, do we have range? No one's within range of him. Can he do anything? We don't have the flexibility to do stuff. But on this turn, we can still resolve this person's turn while on this turn. Move to an ally and an enemy. We're going to do that. We're going to have this guy go. He's going to spend this token over here. We're going to flip this over here, which is going to move to an ally and an enemy. It still has to be within range 3. So we're going to move this guy 1, 2 to be able to be closer. Or 1, 2, let's put there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're going to move an enemy 2. And to that end, we're just going to go ahead and move... I guess we could move this guy... I don't know. There's no great place to move this guy. We'll just move... Let's move this guy 1, 2. Is that better? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I don't think it's better. We'll just do it anyway. Why not? I don't know why. Alright, that's going to be that skill over there. That's going to charge these skills. So whenever you have all these skills charged, uncharge your tokens, and ally gains 2. So we're going to go ahead and uncharge all our tokens, and an ally will gain 2 tokens, which is actually very helpful for us because of the following. Because then what we'll do is we're going to have, you are going to gain 2 tokens, and then you, on your turn, on the enemy's turn, we're now on the enemy's turn. So we did that on the ally's turn, we now go to the enemy's turn. This is going to target the closest ally, and it can target either Nyx over here or the hero. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to have him target Nyx, I think. I think we're going to play around some stuff over here. So we're going to have him target Nyx, which means he's going to go 1, 2 in order to target Nyx. Okay? It's a little bit of a tricky situation. But then we'll immediately react to that situation by having, before the roll, we will now spend this ability to run 5 to the target, you become its target. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now it becomes the target. So now he's the target of that effect, which means now you're attacking them, which is still not great because you're 14 over here. No other villains than one on the target. Okay, perfect. We're good there. So you're dealing with that. And we're going to go ahead and spend this effect over here to make this ally protected, so you now have a 11 to hit. Can I do anything else? I don't think so. We could spend 1 over here to make the roll cursed. So it needs an 11 to hit, and it has to roll twice. And it's a 16. Please get below an 11. 6. Perfect. Okay, so we spent a whole lot of tokens to do that, but right now he's going to miss, which means he won't echo. He'll deal us 8 residual damage against this guy. 14 down to 6 over here. Still very, very, very bad. Very, very, very bad. But we could go ahead and on the enemy's turn, push 3 2 enemies. Does push have to be further away? I assume so. I'm going to double check this later. I think push has to be further away. Move away from you. Yeah, that's the problem. But push 3 2 enemies. Okay, so here's what we're going to do over here. So we're going to go ahead and resolve this effect right now. So this effect's going to resolve. We're going to remove this cube over here, which is going to increase the XP 1, 2, 3 of the orb, which means the orb is dealing more damage. But we're going to deal 14 damage to this enemy over here. So that's going to be 14 damage to that enemy, and go down 35 to 21. And then we're going to push 3 2 enemies. So we're going to push this guy 1, 2, 3, and this guy 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's going to happen over here. So we just did that over there, and now the orb is stronger. A whole lot of things just happened there, and that was, I think, overall worth it. But we now need to go back to reality, which is where this guy is now activated. We have 2 enemies who have not activated, and we still are in trouble, because Dragori over there is not doing the best. We have not yet activated the Halfling Rider, but we wanted to go ahead, this is what we want to do. On the enemy's turn, we want to spend these 2 and pay 4 HP and make a basic attack against the Halfling Rider. So we're going to spend 4 HP, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going, 4 over there, and we're going to make a basic attack, which means we have to roll 6+ against this guy over here. We rolled a 12, which is enough to hit him, so we're going to go ahead and deal our 8 damage to him, which is enough to bring him down to 0. So the Halfling Rider is now out of play, and nobody's going to react to that. He's going to die, and we are all going to go ahead and get a cube back into our pools, which is why we did that. Okay, I think we're doing fine-ish, maybe. I'm a little worried about Dragori and Nyx over here, but the good news is we still have 2 activations and only 1 character left to deal with there. So we have to kind of bring those people into our pool. Now, I don't know how we're going to do this. I don't know how we're going to do this over here. We're going to have to go ahead and have... Dragori's going to have to go ahead and activate. Now, the good news is the Halfling Rider is not going to activate again, so we may as well attack the Halfling Rider. Dragori can do that just fine. The problem is past that, what's Dragori going to do? We didn't heal this turn at all. We could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's my movement over here? Nyx can move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's fine-ish. I think we're just gonna have all the enemies come closer to us. We might just try to retreat a bit. So I think what we'll do is Dragori might be able to attack. Let's take a look at Dragori's stuff. Dragori can't do much right now. We could do that. Inspire Strength. Move for the target, then it makes special attack. That attack is not spent. Inspire Strength. You take, it's an ally. Move for the target, then it makes a special attack. This attack is not spent and does not apply temporary or permanent effects. Oh. Oh. I like it. Okay. Can I do this? I think it's very cool, but I think we're going to try to pull everyone into the Orb of Suffering right now. That's what I think we're going to try to do. I think it makes the most sense. So we're just going to get everyone back into the pool where they can take damage from the enemy orb, where it can just blast them all for 16 damage effectively. So we're going to go ahead and do, there's a very cool thing I have coming up now, because I saw something very cool that will help me stay alive, I think. But in the meantime, we need to resolve the fact that, oh, that guy's not going to activate. No. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have Dragori is going to activate our effect over here, Inspire Strength. You take 4 residual damage, so Dragori is going to drop down to 2. And if you're like, that's great, yeah, that is great. Then, effect. Okay, so ally. Move for the target, then it makes a special attack. that attack is not spent and does not apply temporary or permanent effects. We're going to go ahead and have the character go 1, 2, 3, 4, let's say. Okay, can still see Dragori. So we're moving our ally over here using Inspire Strength as an ability. This is an effect that targets an ally. This card is now gone. So move for the target, and now it gets to use a special attack that never comes back. Effectively, it makes sure that you can reuse a special attack. We're going to use Vitality Juice Box, which is also going to target an ally. So this is going to target Dragori exactly in return, and it's going to, the target heals 20, moves 3, and makes a primary attack. So it's going to heal 20, so Dragori is going to drop up to 22 to 22. Then it's going to move 3 and make a primary attack. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3 and make a primary attack against that character over there, and this card stays in play, which means we go back to Dragori's hand. I know this is confusing. And we get to do a regular primary attack against Dragori, and we're going to do Guardian Presence. You are protected. I think that makes the most sense. Okay, we're going to do Guardian Presence right now. So Guardian Presence is going to activate, and we're going to go ahead and deal an attack against this guy over here, where we're going to go ahead and roll. And we're going to roll our black die here against his defense of 6. And we got a 14, so we hit. So we're going to deal 10 damage against that guy. He's going to drop down from 52 down to 42. And then we are protected 3 once per turn, and any damage that we dealt to allies within 5 can be dealt to us instead. This is going to be a card that stays on Dragori for a bit, so we need to kind of have it in play. And that is Dragori's turn. We still have Nyx to go through over here, but that's Dragori's turn. And now he has to respond and activate, but because he's going to start his turn within 1 of Dragori, Dragori is going to be shielded 4. So anything we do take damage on is shielded 4 at the very least, and this one's going to attack Dragori, rolling on an 8+, and we're going to go ahead and see what happens. And we got a 9, which means he will go ahead and deal 14, but we're only going to take 10 from that, which still has me a little concerned about my health over here. Target gains 1 Distracted 3 token. So we're going to get Distracted 3 on Dragori, which is going to make it a little harder for him to go ahead and deal with he's going to -3 to attack roll against all enemies. And another hero is within 2 of the target, which is not relevant, so we don't trigger his effect. So we're all good in the effects over there, which means it is time to figure out how we're going to survive. We still have Nyx in play. Nyx can try to... You can't bait anyone into the circle of suffering right now, unfortunately. So Nyx is going to go ahead and try to see how much damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is how far she can go. She can move 6. So she can move here, which means she's going to move there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that way she can at least hurt that guy in the Outrider. We're going to go ahead and deal our Vitality Sword over here, which is going to be the following. We don't unfortunately have an ally within 1 of us, which arguably we should have changed the order. I think if we changed the order, we'd be fine, but we're just going to resolve it. So we're going to go ahead and attack this guy over here. We're going to attack him. We're going to go ahead and roll for the effect. It's going to be a shield of a 7 over there. We got a 14, so we're going to deal 10 damage and heal 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10 damage to blue over here, bringing you down to 11. And is there anything I can do for allies' turns? That's going to be the real question of the day. Let's take a look. Let's move our heroes back up to show that they're back and reset. And as far as allies' turns, we can deal 2 damage to an enemy and dispel 2. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. But I should probably save that. No, it could heal himself. Nyx is in trouble too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not worth it right now. I'll deal with it later. Okay. So I think we are good to go on our turns for right now. After roll, that's an ally's turn. Alright, we're done for the round. So, here's the deal. We are done for the round, which means we are not going to activate the enemies because the enemies have all activated. They've all activated already, so we don't activate them again. That's the good news about making sure they activate on their turn. We are going to go ahead and have the orb blast everything for 13 damage, which means this guy, who's currently at 13, is going to go straight down to 0 and die. So he's off the battlefield, which means everyone's going to gain an orb. That's the good news. The bad news is, as you remember, he's coming right back. So he's going to do that. We have to give up 2 tokens from a hero to ensure that we don't lose whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and have this character give up 2 tokens over here. So we're going to have the Tactician give up 2 tokens so we don't lose 10 health from the orb. And then we're going to spawn this enemy once again over here. We like that cycle. And then these cubes all come off and we go to the next round of play. Things are going okay. Things are going good. We're managing. Lots of tactical stuff going on here. So, we're currently set up for success. Let's pretend that. Another hero is within 2 of the target. That's not the case. So we are fine with that. I might try to have Dragori hit that guy again. Dispel 2. Dispel's not bad. Alright, we're going to have Nyx go first, I think. No, Nyx needs to move closer, which means Nyx should go first. But then Nyx is going to target that character. He's going to target the furthest hero within range, which could be that one. That's fine. But I don't love that aspect of things. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay, Nyx is going to go ahead and go. She's going to go first. We just want to make this happen right now. I think we might actually do our basic situation over here. Target 20. We're going to do our Holy Ray. And this is where we really need to remember to use our stupid skills over here. It's horrifically bad. So we're going to go ahead and use our Holy Ray. So what Nyx is going to do, I've been forgetting this even the entire last round. She's going to go ahead and move 8. And she's going to go 1, 2, open the chest. Okay, she's going to take the chest off the board with an interaction point. That's 3, and then 4, 5. That's her movement over there. Okay, she's done. Now we have the chest over here, which means she gets to take a token from the board and put it on one of her level 3 skills, which apparently are awesome. So that's fun over there. Choose 3 combatants. Heroes heal 7. And targets take, that's pretty good. Deal 13 damage to the combatants with the most HP and heal 13 the lowest HP. Interesting. Heal 10 to an ally if it's regained a heal. Okay, okay. That's interesting. I don't mind that. I can work with that. I think I can work with that. We're going to do the following. We're going to go ahead and put this down over here, where it's going to activate that ability. The orb can now activate that ability. Alright, so, in the meantime, she's going to go ahead and she's going to target an enemy, and she's going to heal an ally. So what she's going to do is she's going to go ahead and target this enemy over here, I believe. Yeah, I think so. I don't love it, but we're going to do it. So we're going to go ahead and roll. It's a 7 defense, and we're going to hit, and it's going to be a 16. That's going to be 6 damage against the enemy. So he's going to drop down to 1, 2, 3, 4. Except, we're also going to go ahead. It was not with mob. Plus 3. I don't think it's enough, unfortunately. I said we're also going to go ahead, but I didn't plan this out fully. I kind of want to deal more damage to that guy, because 7 more damage would be great. Where did I start? No, there's too much wishy-washiness. I don't want to undo things. Mob or focus, not relevant. I don't think there's a ton I can do, but I could do that. I could work with it there. No, I can't work with it there. I'm lying. Move 2, you move 4, charge the skill tokens, move 3 an ally. I don't think there's a lot I can do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and activate. So what's going to do over here is we also going to heal 7 a hero. So we're going to heal 7. We could heal ourselves. Let's heal ourselves. 9 to 16. Okay, great. The Holy Wheel is done. We're also going to deal plus 5 because of our short bow. That makes sense. Can we deal 2 damage to it? No, we can't. Not except as an ally's turn. This way I can undo things. I don't want to undo stuff, but I feel like I want to undo stuff. Can I do anything else to deal damage to an enemy? I don't think I can deal a ton. He wants to target the closest enemy. Oh, no, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're good. We're good. So, I'm going to go ahead. In fact, I don't even know if I need to do that. Because that is going to deal 7 reaction damage. We're fine. We're not going to do anything. We're good. We're totally good. Here's what's going to happen. So we just resolved our effects. Oh, an ally's within 3 of you. I'm an idiot. I don't know what I'm thinking here. So, an ally's within 3 of me, which means I'm going to deal plus 5 damage against that. That's going to drop down to 2. And then what's going to happen is he's going to target the furthest hero he can reach. That's going to be his response. The furthest he can reach is Nyx, which means he's going to go 1, 2, 3, walking past and taking the reaction damage, which means because he takes the reaction damage, sorry, let me just reset the board over here. Because he takes the reaction damage over there, he's going to die along the way. So he dies from reaction damage because he tried to pass by to attack Nyx, which means everyone gets a cube and no one gets hurt. Well, except for him. He gets hurt, but that's okay. We're okay with him getting hurt. So, that Outrider is now gone. We can ignore him. And Nyx is now gone. Overall, I'd call that a pretty good turn. We also have this chest, which remember we can use to heal 30 a hero and heal 10 to anyone under 20. We don't want to use it because we want the Kemet Hunt to be elevating as we go through the game. But now, we do have the aspect of dealing with things. We've done Nyx. We still have 2 more characters we have to resolve over here. And so we could try to We have that ability from Nyx over there. She can use heal 10 an enemy. We're going to have our typical effect going on, which we're going to use our Avalon over here to deal with our Reaper that we have to deal with. Or we can just kind of ignore the Reaper if we want, but the Reaper is going to have an effect. We're going to take Arcane Shot over here. So we're going to do Arcane Shot, and we're going to go ahead and target the Reaper. We're going to roll to attack the Reaper, and we're going to hopefully get at least a 5+, and we got a 13. That means we do 12 damage, plus we can push the target. So we're going to push the target 1, 2, just so we can walk it into the dust over there with our effect over here. And that means we deal, again, 12 plus 12 is going to be 24 damage to that Reaper, whose token we didn't even put on the board. So 35 plus 24 minus 24 brings us down to 11. Okay, that's where we're at right now. And we could do more if we want. We could just straight up kill him outright-ish, maybe. I don't know. Because right now he would try to go towards that orb over there, unless we can take him out along the way. And again, I could have the orb take the damage, but I don't necessarily want the orb to take the damage, because he's doing 17 damage. So I could do the following. I could go ahead. Nyx is not within 8, so I can't use that benefit. I could have an additional 5 against that guy, but 5 is only because down to 6, which means we still need to deal enough further damage, which is not likely. So I think the orb is going to take the damage. We're just going to have the orb take the damage again. So we're going to go, he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, walk up to the orb. This skill is gone over here. We may as well have done X, Y, and Z, but I guess we won't bother right now. I'm going to put that back over here, and then we'll have the orb take the damage. He will roll against the orb. The orb has a defense of 6, and it's a 19, which means he's definitely dealing damage to the orb. Another 17 damage to the orb, unfortunately. So the orb is going to go ahead and take 17 damage from 52 down to 50, and then 35. So we need to be mindful of the orb a little bit, because things are happening. But overall, he at least will die, which is great. Great, 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 great. That means we now have 1 enemy active left on the board. The Halfling Rider is gone. We still have 2 more chests to grab, so like we got stuff that we got to do. But in the meantime, we have 2 more heroes who can activate. We can use Dragori. Dragori is a little bit better. The Tactician might be a problem over here, and that character that's left wants to target the hero with the least HP, which means he wants to target Nyx, which can't reach Nyx. So that part's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cannot reach Nyx over here, which means we are going to be able to mess around with some things. So he is close to Dragori over there, which means Dragori will be shielded over there. We will have the Tactician activate to go after him, I think. So, Tactician is going to go ahead and move closer and deal with whatever kind of effects we need to over here. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at our cards. We have an 11 damage. Target is weakened is not bad. We're going to take the Bone Destruction. We're going to make target is weakened. So we're going to go ahead and move, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, so we can go ahead and hit the target in the face. We're going to hit the target in the face, like I just mentioned, which means the target is going to be 11 damage, assuming we roll at least a 6 over here. We rolled at least a 6, which is perfect, so the target's going to take 11 damage over here, so 42 down to 31, and then we're going to also deal an additional over here. Target does plus 4 damage, so 4 more damage, 31 to 27. Nyx is going to heal 4 from 46 to 50 over here because that target was not yet fatigued. And then the target is going to be weakened 3. So a whole bunch of things happened over there. All of them good for the most part, I think. And so we are going to call that on that ability. Then we're going to resolve the consequences of that. But do we want to do anything on the ally's turn before we'll move to... I think we're good. I think we're good as far as these various things. So we're going to go ahead now and have the target react. The target reacts by hitting the target with the least HP, which it cannot do so. So instead what it's going to do is going to take another 3 damage, 1, 2, 3, and target Dragori. Now because Dragori is right next to the target, Dragori is going to be shielded 4. And so Dragori can now negate some of that. Although also we're going to have this character as well go ahead and do the thing I keep forgetting the whole game. We're going to activate the sword to deal plus 5 damage, because I've been forgetting that all game long. So that's going to be done over there. And then we're going to go ahead and have Dragori take these damage over there, which means he's also weakened though, so he's doing 3 less damage. So right now, he's going to target Dragori. He's going to target Dragori. Dragori's got an 8 defense, and he does a 7, which means he only does 5 residual damage, which is going to be negated by his shield down from 5. So the 5 is weakened further. So he does 5, so he does 8 residual damage. Weakened becomes 5, and then his shield drops it down to 1. So Dragori is going to take 1 damage from the attack. Those are the kind of stats I can live with. We're good over there, which means now it's Dragori's turn, and this character has activated and just wasted his turn doing nothing useful. we're good. We now can have Grigori take him out, basically. Or come close to taking him out. Grigori's going to do his best to try to take him out right now. With the most dangerous thing I could think of. Oh, that would have been pretty cool. I should have done that the whole game. Good to know. We're going to use Focus Stance, which I should have read my abilities more. Focus Stance is a range of 2 squares, 1 enemy, 14 damage, and I am toughened 3, which means always, for the entire game, once per turn, I take less 3 damage, and my passive ability extends its reach to being further out. So yeah, we'll do that. We're going to do a Focus Stance over here, and we're going to attack the enemy. We're going to roll over here, and really hope that we make that roll, because otherwise it's going to be really sad. That's going to be a 5, it's going to be a 6 roll over here. We got a 7, which is good enough for me, and that's going to deal 14 damage to him, dropping him from 19 down to 19 down to 5, and we're going to activate our sword over here. Grigori's sword is going to be activated, and we're going to go ahead and drop it down to 0. So this enemy is now dead. He's gone. We all gain a cube. Now you get those weapons back whenever you cycle your cards, which we haven't really done yet, but whenever you don't have any cards left except for your specials, you cycle your non-specials. Your specials you don't get back. They are limited, unfortunately. Guardian Presence, this should be gone by now. Okay, so this is your protected 3. Oh, I'm protected 3. That 1 damage I took last turn wouldn't have been eligible. So I'm back up 1 damage. That's from last turn. And that basically means he's dead. He's gone. He's out of play. We can ignore him for right now. And we still have a whole bunch of stuff to deal with. But right about now, we've all activated. It's the end of the turn. We're going to have this thing spike this guy. He's going to just straight up die. And we're going to go ahead and then gain a cube for anyone who's not at max cubes. And we're going to go ahead and have the ranger drop 2 cubes, because why not over there. We are good to go as far as that goes. And now it's time to move to the part where we spawn another stupid Reaper. Reaper's going to pop back into play. Nope, wrong character. Reaper's going to pop back into play. Same basic move. I like that basic move. It's working for me. We're going to pop his health down to 35. And things are going okay-ish. Okay. So, we need to get some more stuff in play. I think at this point, because we spawned the Reaper, we really could just go grab that next chest situation right there. Which seems like the thing to do. Probably. So for the first time ever, Avalum will probably not do his ability, because Avalum has 5 movement, which is not enough to get to the quest otherwise. So Avalum is going to run towards the quest. Is it a mistake? Let's see how far we can go. Our Reaper character can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I think we'll do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We are going to go ahead and claim the next barrel, which means we are activating the event and we are spawning things. Also, because we claimed a barrel, we get to take one of our tokens and put it down on one of our level 3 abilities where we can shield someone, or we can do the whole pushing people. Heal 10 to the health and some powered. Pull 4 and deal 4 damage to 4. I think we're going to go ahead and deal that. An ally shielded. Let's just do the 14 damage. We're going to do the 14 damage thing again. We're going to pop it down. So we're going to do that. We're all good to go. We're doing fine. We're doing fine, fine, fine. Heal 10. If it's regained 10 HP, a hero heals 25. Probably should have done that. Anyways. Okay. We're going to read event. That was number C. So we're going to remove barrel C. Start event C. Okay. That's bad. That's bad. How does bleeding go away? Does bleeding go away at the end of the round? I think it goes away when done. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to have a bit of a problem now. Place Skeleton 24B, Walkers 31-0. So we need to grab some of our cards and put things in play. Skeleton 24B, Walkers 31-0, and Walkers 32G. So placing some new cards into play, because we got some new cards we got to put into play. I'm going to put this off to the side. We're going to put these guys into our play area. So we got the following. We got our Walker Guardians here, which are going to be these guys. I'm going to put that down into a little situation here. So our Walker Guardian is going to be 32 over here. Okay. And we're going to put the token for that guy on his appropriate health of 60 Gs. Then we're going to put our Walker, Noxious Walker, over here. And we're going to put, again, another orange token person, but on a Walker this time. And put that guy down on 31 over here. This terrain, by the way, takes 2 to move over. We're going to put our person on 60. Again, these people have a lot of health. Then we're going to go ahead and spawn the skeleton over here, which I'm going to leave a little bit off center over here. And we're going to put him down. He's going to be on 50, so not nearly as bad. I think we need to get them all to the center, which is a slight problem because of my hero over here. But we're going to put that skeleton into play, which means we need this base and that skeleton. And we're going to put this guy over here. Then all heroes take 2 bleeding tokens. Okay? Bleeding tokens, that's bad right now, because that means all heroes are going to not basically be able to move. Without, every time they move, they're going to take damage, 2 per square they move into. Although I think it's going to be 4 per square they move into because of the nature of those tokens. So let's see what we got over here. We have to deal with, I'm going to have to track 1 token each a piece on these, because we'll have to remember it's 2. Okay, and the orb takes 10 damage for each Reaper inside the camp tile, which is none right now. So we are good on that. So the tokens are going to be applied until the effect is considered or applied, which means we do have to move in some way, shape, or form. We've already activated Grigori, so everyone else is in play, and it's again not looking the bestest. We need to get our heroes in camp. We have most of our heroes semi in camp. We're going to go ahead and have this person. Let's see what we can do with her. She only has 1 ability, and it's not helpful because it's melee only. So I think we do need to get into camp. The tricky part there is, who are they targeting? We have the hero with the least HP, which is still unfortunately Grigori. We have the green guy's going to target the hero with the most cubes, which is unfortunately currently Grigori. Grigori needs to move. Okay, whose turn is it right now? It's currently Grigori's turn. So allies can currently go. I don't see a way around this right now. We're having tricky parts over here. Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just continue walking. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to just retreat to the camp over here. We moved both our movement to done, so that's she's done, unfortunately, and nothing we can do with that. Then unfortunately the enemies are going to go, which means we have some options on the table. We can move to an ally and an enemy. I don't love it. I don't love it. She could have moved closer, I guess. She started off over here. She's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3. She could even start off over here necessarily. She could do that, which is not the worst. It forces people to interact around her, which I don't mind. So let's do that. Let's do over here, 1 better. Okay. That means she can now see Grigori. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So she can reach Grigori, which is good. So she can use some of her abilities to try to help that in some way, shape, or form. So she's going to go ahead and do this ability over here, where she does move to an ally and an enemy. She's going to move Grigori 1, 2, and she's going to move an enemy into, I guess, the terrain damage. Seems reasonable, right? So we'll go ahead and move this enemy going 1, 2 into terrain damage, taking 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first option over there. Then at this point, we also have the orb can go at any point to have an enemy take 14 damage, which is not bad at all. 14 damage is not bad at all, but we're not done yet. We're still on her turn right now. Still resolving various effects. No, we're not on her turn, because we have to be on someone else's turn for her to use the ability. So we're going to pretend someone else's turn. Now we're going to have Nyx take her turn. So Nyx's going to take her turn. That's when the person did that move, which means... Oh, we could do that. Oh, holy hell. Okay, we have to slightly go out of order there, because I just realized how bad that movement would be with the 14 damage. So we're going to undo this for a second, but we're going to redo it in a minute. But I just realized how much damage they take because of the movement. So we're going to go ahead and have Nyx go over here. And Nyx is going to refresh all of her spells, which means she didn't use any. The problem is when she refreshes, she would have hypothetically been able to take those things, which she can't right now. So right now, we're going to... This other spell, this ultimate's gone, but the other spells are still in play. And we could deal 6, move 3 an ally. You are an ally, heal 6. So I think we're going to go ahead and deal 2 damage, dispel. I think we still need to make him go first. Okay. Make him go first, attacking the green guy who wants to attack the person with the most cubes. Cool. That'll work for me. So what we will do over here, not the green guy, this guy with the most HP, which is still going to be tricky. The most HP is going to be the orange character, so we'll see how this plays out. So we're going to go ahead and refresh all our cards over here, because we just have them all. We still haven't used our ultimate over here. We could deal with that. 60 damage per hit. You may move any number of targets to hit up to 3 squares each. Okay. I think we are going to use this ultimate over here. Can we do so? If we move one closer, because we want to move one closer, we go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2 over here like so. That's going to do a few things. First of all, you're going to take 4 damage because 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's going to be because of the bleeding tokens. Then we're going to go ahead and do our shockwave ability. So our shockwave ability is going to hit this person and this person, those two. We're going to start with this person. Yeah, sure, let's start with this person. So we're going to go ahead and roll, and it's going to be rolling against a defense of 5. And we did an 11, so that's a hit, 16 damage per hit, and then we're also going to be able to push the target while you may move any number of targets hit up to 3 squares each. That's okay, so we're going to go ahead and push the target 1, 2, 3, or whatever it is, and then knock him 1 into it with his default thing, which means he's going to do 16 plus 12 for a total of 28 damage against this. 28 damage from 35 down to 7. 7's pretty good. That's not bad. We can work with that. Also, it means he'll react in a second, and we'll deal with that in a second. But then, from there, we're also going to go ahead and have, and by then this person is going to use her ability on an ally's turn, going to deal 2 damage to an enemy and dispel whatever. So she's going to deal 2 damage to this guy before he moves, which is going to be another 2, 1, 2, and then dispel these 2 tokens from that person so that they can actually move without taking damage. That was the whole point of that. And then these are all going to recharge, and she's going to heal 9 an ally. Whenever these recharge, you have to do the effect. She's going to heal 9 allies. She's going to heal 9 herself. So 16 to 25. So she's doing much better. This person, meanwhile, still has to attack this one. So we're going to be rolling against a defense of 7. So defense of 7 this time. And we got a 9. Beautiful. So we're still going to do 16 damage against this one as well. And just that's what it's going to do. Just 16. So 16 against that brings it down from 60 to 54 to 44. But then we're going to move on to terrain, which means to bring it down to 40. So we're going to go ahead and go, 1, 2, 3 over here. Just knock onto that terrain over there. So it takes the damage from the terrain. That's going to be your 16 damage per hit effect. And now we're done with Shockwave. Okay. We're also going to go ahead and activate. Let's go ahead and do this right now. We're going to activate our short bow to be able to go ahead and deal 5 extra damage against this guy over here. So that's going to be 5 more damage against this guy, bringing it from 40 down to 35. These quests are long sometimes. We're done with that over there, and now it's time to continue moving onwards. Now, the enemies have to activate, so this enemy over here is going to activate over here, is going to target the hero with the most HP. The hero with the most HP is the orange guy. He cannot reach the orange guy, so it's going to take 3 residual damage, which means all we need to do is just find a way to find 2 more damage against it. Can we find 2 more damage against it? Heal 3. You know what? We can do that, I think. So we're going to go ahead and deal 3. We have to be able to reach it. So I don't think we can right now. We have to be able to find him. I don't see a way. So we're going to take 1, 2, 3, and then it's going to attack the closest target. So the closest target is going to be this guy over here, I believe. I think so. Well, we have to find our toughen thing. Where's our toughness card? You're protected. No, you're toughen 3. This is always in play. Okay. So he's going to try to activate against him. Can I do anything about that? I don't think I can. What I could do is I could go ahead. It's down to 2 health, which is really irritating, unfortunately. But I don't think there's anything else I can do about it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and have this guy pay 2 cubes to do a basic attack and 4 HP to do a basic attack against, where's my health? 1, 2, 3, 4 to target this guy so that he can't target this guy. So we're going to do a basic attack, which is a hit over there. And so that's going to be, wait, that was a 4. 1 second. A 4 against this guy is 5, but I have +1. Yes, I have +1 when doing a basic attack. That's why it was a hit. So it becomes a 5, which means this guy is dead. Which means we all gain a cube back. And we are good to go as far as that guy being gone again and not a problem. But now our this guy over here has activated, so we still have a bunch more to activate, and this one is out of play. So things are good again-ish for right now, but we still need to deal with a whole bunch more damage before things are settled. So, who should go next? Dragori already went. I forgot about that. That was intentional. Dragori went first to open that crate because that seemed like a good idea at the time. So we still have other people to manage and mitigate. I think now we are going to go ahead and move Nyx. We're going to move our tactician over here. Not Nyx, Ravel. Ravel's going to go ahead and move close to the camp. I think I said I'm not doing anything particular with Ravel. I don't think there's anything I was going to particularly do. Nothing Ravel can do, so Ravel's going to simply move closer to the camp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over here. That's Ravel's turn. That's all she's going to do over here, and her turn is done. Which means the last person to now activate is our healer Nyx over here, who can do some fun things. But in the meantime, we also have this spell option over here. A hero takes 14 damage, push 3. That's option over there. Heal 10 an ally. And hero takes 14 damage. I don't think it's going to help as much as I want. An enemy takes 14 damage, not a hero. We have Nyx to activate. Nyx has to do some positive things for us. Nyx needs to heal people. Primarily our hero, who's in trouble. Okay, we're going to do the following. We're going to have Nyx move over here. Nyx is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, like so, because then she can actually reach everything, or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and she can do that. So what she's going to go ahead and do is she's going to apply the most healing she can do, which I think is just going to be, she's going to do Holy Ray. She's going to target this enemy over here who has a defense of 7. We may as well target this guy as defense of 6. So we're going to target the Skeleton Mystic who has defense of 6 over here, which means he is going to go ahead and just roll our die. We need the right die over here. We have a 6, which is perfect over here, which means we are going to go ahead and deal 6 damage to this guy. So we're going to deal 6 to the blue over here. So from 50 down to 44. And then he's going to go ahead and then we're going to heal our 7, this hero. So we're going to heal him by 7, so it's 19. Then we're also going to activate our... Did we already activate? No, we're doing the green. We're going to activate the bow, so we can deal 5 more, as well as our default effect, because we have a hero within 5. So we're dealing 10 more damage, 44 down to 34. Just trying to slowly take these people out, because we need to take them all out over here, and that's going to be our card done. That's going to be all the turns, but now he has to activate, and then these two will activate a bit more immediately. So he's going to activate the hero that is the furthest away that he can reach, which means he's going to go ahead and go... I probably should have moved Nyx over here. This would make more sense, because then what I can do is I can now have him go, because he can reach over here, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 3 over here to try to get here, because he can reach within 2, but that means we'll take the residual damage from Nyx over here, which means we're going to deal 6 residual damage to that guy, so it goes down 34 to 28, and then it's going to attack our character over here, the Ravel over here, attacking Ravel, and we're going to see what we can do as far as other things to help us out while we attack Ravel. Because we could move someone 3. What else can I do? That won't help necessarily. I don't love that. I could do that, which is interesting, but I don't love that. What else can I do? Start of turn, pay 4 HP. Target is bleeding. I don't think it really matters. Okay. We'll go ahead and... Oh, interesting. That could be fun. We need to make sure to activate who we activate. This guy's been activating. This guy's activating right. This guy's activating right now. So we're going to go ahead and attack him. We're going to roll, which means we're rolling against a defense of 7. And we got a 4. So it's only going to do residual damage, which is going to be 8 residual damage against her. So 8 residual damage, considering her health is fine. 42, that's totally fine. Then we are going to have the other enemies activate, and they're going to be doing extra damage, unfortunately. So you're targeting the person with the lowest HP. The lowest HP is going to be you over here, which means you're going to try to make your way there, which is unfortunate. I don't love that. Can I do anything to avoid that, prevent that? Enemy turn stuff. Move a hero 3. So I think we're going to go ahead and have... Can we reach it? We can see line of sight. So we're going to activate this one over here. Start of turn, move a hero, move a villain 3. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, knocking you into there. That means you are now going to go ahead and take that 4 residual damage, 56 to 52. That is the cost of that effect over there. Can I do any other enemy turn effects? I could heal 3 a hero, so I could do that over there. So let's go ahead and do this over here. I'm going to heal 3 a hero. 1, 2, 3. And then we are going to nothing here and pay 4 HP. Target is bleeding. So the tricky part now is because of his movement, he won't be able to reach him, which is great. So no reaching over there, which is perfect, which means instead we're going to go ahead and I think I specifically am going to, yeah, we're going to go ahead and have them step off. So they're going to try to avoid the damage of the thing. So they're going to go off 1 and then 2, 3 to get over there. So that's what we're going to do in terms of the enemy activation as far as how they're going to activate to try to hit next. They're also going to take 3 damage because they had to 1, 2, 3. They have to do a dark rush turn effectively. And so now they're going to attack against Nyx. And they're going to be fighting against the defensive 7. And it's going to be 13, which is enough to hit through. Which means we're going to go ahead and deal 12 damage to Nyx. So 12 damage, Nyx going to 25 to 13. But then importantly, target gains 1 weakened 3 token, ends if used. So we're going to break down Nyx's ability to attack as much, but we are going to remember the thing I keep forgetting, which is we're going to use our leather jacket to be shielded 5 and take 5 less damage. So we're going to go from 13 back to 18 over there, and then we're going to become weakened over here. That's going to cover that over there. I think we are done with all the weakened tokens except for his, possibly. So we're done with the weakened tokens over there, and then we are going to go ahead and we're going to resolve the orbs effect. Because what the orb is going to do... Does it work for us right now? Can it work for us? We should do it. Let's do it. We're going to resolve the orbs effect over here, which is the orb is going to go ahead and blast out this ability. Start of turn only. We can't do it. We cannot do it. We're fine. We're fine. We're just going to continue. Because the orb can't deal... Orb can only kill people in camp anyway. End of round effects are going to happen. That was end of round effects. No, we still have 1 more person to go. Did I do everything? I can't remember if I did anything. We didn't do this guy over here. So we activated this guy, which means we need to activate this guy. Target with the most cubes. Target with the most cubes is going to be again over him here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 over here to target them. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and roll. And you're going to roll against a defense of 8. And it's a 4, which means it's a miss, which means you're going to deal 8 residual damage against him. 8 residual damage is going to result in taking over here. And we are also going to turn in our cloak, so we only take 3 residual damage. And that's 1, 2, 3. And then we are done as far as that goes. Which means I think we are finally done with that round. Which means we are going to spawn the thing, which means we're going to just have this person give up 2 cubes so their orb doesn't take damage. We will then spawn our lovely Reaper that we are used to seeing in combat. We're going to clear the cubes, put the Reaper back in play. Reaper's going to have to go somewhere else because it has to be on the outside edge of camp. So we're going to put it down over here instead this time. And then we're going to continue the process of trying to take down all the enemies except for the Reapers. There's a lot. Oh, and I'm toughened again. I'm toughened. I forgot about that. He goes back up 3. 1, 2. I think it's only 2 because I only took 2. So nothing. Because he's permanently toughened. Dragori over here. Okay. Time to try to figure out how to survive and take these baddies out. Dragori might just go first because I think it's actually the right move. I think it's the right move for Dragori to go first. So here's what Dragori's going to do. Dragori's going to take a look at our cards over here. And we're going to... We can smack people around a bit. Pull for another enemy. That's fun. I like that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do Daring Taunt over here. Daring Taunt is going to be a 2-hit square over here. And we're going to do the following. We're targeting this guy over here. We're going to roll our die against a defense of 7. And we got a 3. That's terrible. So I don't think we're going to hit that time. We are bound to miss. We had a good run. We're going to do 5 residual damage against him. And we will not be able to do our effect, which is unfortunate. So that was unfortunate. Not great. But we do 5 residual damage. he's going to drop down 1, so from 35 to 30 over here. Now, can any allies help us or do anything on our turn? Or do anything in general, because it's an ally's turn right now? We're going to go ahead and we can have Nyx activate to deal 2 damage to the enemy, which is not the worst. And then Dispel 2 against the shooter, which is weakened. So let's do that. We're going to have Nyx activate to deal 2 damage to the enemy and Dispel someone. So we're going to deal 2 damage to, let's say, this one over here. 1, 2. And Dispel this weakened token offhand. We can then go ahead and before roll, target is blessed. I really should be doing this right already. I should be doing that. I should have been doing that. I should have. It's too far right now. I can't do that one anyway. We're done over there. Done over there. We are good as far as that goes. So that was his turn, which means he's going to activate now, and he's going to respond. But can we do anything right now before he responds? Yeah, so right now, before, at the start of turn, we're going to do this effect over here. An enemy takes 14 damage, push 3 to enemies. So we're going to up the ability over here to 16 over here. And then we're going to go ahead and push 3 enemies. So this one's going to push over here, push over there. This one's going to push over here. And that's going to cause them to both take damage. So this one's going to take 4 damage each. So we're going to put our red token back in play that we always forget to put back in play. Going to take 4 damage down. And then this one over here is going to take 4 damage from also terrain effects. 26 to 22. So that's solid over there as far as that's concerned. And now we are going to continue with this guy still resolving. So heal 4. So he's going to go ahead and he's going to attack him. No, he's not. He's going to attack the hero with the most cubes. Here with the most cubes is going to be the tactician. But can he reach the tactician? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He cannot reach the tactician. But because he cannot reach the tactician, he's going to take 3 damage and Dark Surge instead. And just target Grigori. So he's going to go ahead and take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. He's now going to Dark Surge. And that means he's going to go ahead and target Grigori. Grigori has Circle of Protection, which means Shielded 4 and Toughened 3, which means we're looking good over there. We're going to go ahead and roll against Grigori, Strength 8. We're going to roll a 3, which means he's going to do 8 damage. And our Shielded 4 and Toughened 3 means we take a single damage. Grigori is feeling pretty strong today. And more importantly, he activates. So we've been actually pretty good as far as enemies having low activation. But we're going to go ahead and continue this following. So we're going to go with the next hero. The next hero needs to start taking people out because we have a bunch of enemies here and we need to reduce their health down to as little as possible so we can get to the last barrel and then kill all the remaining enemies and get out alive. Okay. I can do this. We really should kill that blue guy. Can I kill the blue guy? He's a 22. I can kill the blue guy. I can kill the blue guy. So, we're going to have our spells over here. I can do at least 12, so I need to do 10 damage to it. Yeah, I'll do this one over here. Alright, we're going to do Magic Missile. Magic Missile over here. We're going to do an effect against this guy. We're going to be standing still and no enemies within 3, which means we are going to get +3s, an exposed enemy. So we're going to roll over here. We got 12, which is plenty. We're going to deal 10 damage to him. And because of our effect over here, we can move him onto the terrain, which means does 4 plus 8 is 22 damage, which means he dies right away. He's gone over there, and he's off the board entirely, and we all get a cube back. Then additionally, we are also going to go ahead, and this guy's gone, and we're also going to deal 3 damage to enemies to 2 other enemies within range. So 3 damage to this red guy, so 31 to 28, and 3 damage to the orange guy, which is going to be, he's actually pretty high, 49 to 46. And that is going to be our turn, and he's now done. And then no one else can activate because you don't take you don't activate from taking peripheral damage. You activate from being targeted. That felt satisfying. Okay, good. We still have enemies to deal with over here. We have a green enemy who's activated, and we have an orange enemy who has not, and a red enemy who has not. And we need to take them out over here as far as this goes, which means we need to figure this out over here. Tactician is likely the way to go to take down the orange enemy, so we're going to have the Tactician activate over here. And then Nyx is still in play as well. Okay. You move 2, 15 damage plus effect. You must apply exposed on yourself once per turn. I don't love that. Blades of Insanity is interesting. It makes me exposed, which I don't love. But I also have the higher HP, which means I'm not worried about being attacked. We're going to do Blades of Insanity over here. We're going to move 2 over here. 1, 2. We're going to target this person over here with Blades of Insanity. He has a defense of 7. We're going to roll our die over here. We got a 17, which means we pierce through that. 17 against him is going to be 15 damage, plus our 4 damage over here, which means we're doing 19 damage to him. He's going from 49 down to 46 from 19 is going to be 27. 27 over here. And that's good as far as that goes. What else can we do for ally's turn? I really need to do my freaking shoot over here. I'll do that shortly. Okay. And then now I'm currently exposed until the turn, but I also heal 4. So I'm going to go ahead and heal 4 myself. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is basically that turn. We got Blades of Sanity, and now we're exposed until once per turn until the next turn. So we have a few effects on Nyx over here. I keep calling it Nyx. Her name's Ravel. Then from there, this enemy is going to have to activate. He's going to activate targeting the hero with the least HP, which is going to be the hero right in front of him, unfortunately, which means you don't move at all. Can I do anything about that? That was an ally's turn. So I could go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do this with this effect over here. So we're going to have spend 1 effect and have move to an ally and you move 2. So we're going to move to an enemy. That doesn't help. I guess it still does help. We're still going to do that. We're going to go ahead and have this enemy go 1, 2 into there, taking 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll go 1, 2 over there. But then can I move an enemy, an ally, any other way? You move 4, charge 1 skill token. I might be able to move an enemy or an ally. I don't think I can move an ally. I mean, there are abilities, but I didn't take them. Okay. So I don't think there's anything to do as far as that goes. I guess what I could do is I could go ahead and still move an enemy. Who can move an enemy? So here's what I'm going to do, okay? On this enemy's turn, I will use this ability to spend these 2 to move an enemy 3, which will go 1, 2 over here. And that's going to cause you to take 4 terrain damage, 27 to 23. And that does mean that when he wants to attack Nyx, he's going to have to walk past this character, taking 7 reaction damage. So 23 down to 14. So still alive, still in play, but definitely a whole lot weaker. And going to now attack Nyx over here, rolling against Nyx's defense. And Nyx's defense is going to be a 7. We got a 9. Can I do anything to modify that? I don't think so. I think we're fine with it. We're fine with it. Okay, so 12 damage over here. We're going to do 12 damage against Nyx. Nyx is going to take 12 down to 6 over here. That's actually not fine. And then we're going to go ahead and I could do that and gains 1 weaken token. Okay. Another hero is within 2 of the target. Ooh, that's actually we're going to have to deal with that. So another hero is within 3 of the target. Nyx is over here to take this token. And then because another hero is within 2 of the target, deal plus 3 damage, target gains 1 distracted token. So we're distracted and weakened and take plus 3 damage. Nyx is not doing the best. We will go ahead and do the shielded 5 jacket, so we're at least 5 health higher to 8 over here, so at least somewhat in play. But at this point, we're out of like nearly all of our abilities to stay alive, so it is what it is. But at least that character is activated, and we're done in terms of dealing with that kind of mental energy, which means the last thing we have to deal with is most HP is going to be that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we're fine-ish. Okay, let's go ahead and deal with this. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's interesting. I don't love that. Okay, it is now Nyx's turn. So, we're going to go ahead and have Nyx activate right now. And Nyx is going to do the following. So, first of all, she's going to attack somebody, or heal someone, or something. Probably herself, honestly. Healing herself would be great. She could heal 2 heroes. You or an ally heal 6, or both of you heal 4. Let's do that. We're going to do Life Tithe over here. So we're going to do Life Tithe. And we're going to go ahead and do Life Tithe against, I guess against this character here. I think that makes sense. It makes sense for a variety of reasons. Yes, so we're going to do it against this character over here. And we're going to go ahead and roll. Now we're going to spend a thing over here from this to make it blessed. Okay, which means, because we're making this blessed, we're immediately going to have an enemy take 9 damage, which means we're going to have this guy take 9 damage. So we're going to 28 to 19, and then these are going to refresh. And the roll is currently blessed. Then, we are going to go ahead and have, the roll is blessed. We're then going to have the attack activate. So we're going to roll against this person, and we're going to roll. We got 8, which is already a hit, but we roll again in case we get a crit. We did not. Okay. We're going to deal 7 damage against him. So he's going to go down from 14 down to 7. And then we're going to have you or an ally heal 4 each. So we're going to have Nyx go up from 8 to 12. And this person, the Guardian, go up to 24. Okay. But we're not done yet because we deal plus 5 damage as well. Which is where we're going to go ahead and have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then because of that, we're also going to have this character activate to deal this ability, pay 2 HP, and it deals plus 7 damage because they're exposed, which means he's dead, and now we're all going to go ahead and gain some tokens. Tokens back, tokens back, tokens back, tokens back. Okay, and that's going to be that ability. We are done. We are done. We have that enemy out of play, and we have one enemy left to deal with, who's going to activate now, unfortunately activating Empowered because, well, he didn't activate it until now. And he's going to go ahead and target the hero with the most HP. The hero with the most HP is going to be, well, Ravel over there. But the problem is I don't think you can reach Ravel because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's going to do an Empowered, he's going to do a Rage turn or whatever, Dark Surge. He's going to go down 1, 2, 3. Then he's going to walk past this, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, and then try to get 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. And can I do anything to like kill it along the way? I can do 8 damage to it with that. I'm trying to negate his ability to actually deal damage. And so there's a few things I could do. I could have him pay 4 HP to. Yeah, I think there's things we can do. How are we at? We're at 12, right? Great. So we're gonna go ahead and have him spend one of these on the enemy turn and spend 4 HP, going down to 26 over here. And then that's going to flip this, and we're going to make a basic attack on a 4+. We got a 3+, which is amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Which basically means you don't actually get it. So we're unfortunately not going to be able to resolve that. At least from what I can see. So, oh, we just got rid of a card. This person should not be gone. Okay. I think we're just going to have to deal with that. I could have done it that way too, which would have made more sense. It is what it is. We're going to have them attack over here. They're going to attack the Tactician over here. And then the tank, and we're going to be rolling on an 8+. I could curse them in theory. No, I'm not going to bother. We're going to do an 8+ curse over here. They're high enough they can withstand it. We got an 18, which is not great. They're going to be doing 22 damage, I think, because they have the +5. So 22, 24 down to, well, 2. So that's not the best over here, and that's not great. That I keep putting that Reaper into play. He's pretty powerful when he actually hits. Because until now, I've been killing him a lot. Then we're going to have this thing over here surge outwards, going poof to like hit everyone. And then because we don't want it to die, we will go ahead and have this person give up 2 cubes to keep it alive and not take 10 damage. And then from there we go to the next round where we are still alive. We need to kill this green guy in order to not deal with... It's not good. It's not good. Move an enemy 2, you move 2. I think I'm going to go ahead and have... Oh, jeez. I need this guy gone, unfortunately. And he's kind of in the way. Okay. I think I'm going to actually do the following. I'm going to use this ability. No, I can't do that ability right now. We need to do someone else's ability. So, this guy needs to die, and he's going to have a pretty easy time dying. Oh, we need to spawn a Reaper. Oh, we need to spawn a Reaper. Oh, no. Oh, no. I almost forgot that. I'm going to do this Stealing Scythe Reaper over here. This Reaper over here is going to spawn over here, which is not the best. But I kind of want him to go. Pay 2 HP, you move 4. That's just bad. I need him to go, but I need him to stay alive, which is a bit trickier than you might think. Oh, I'm sorry. Toughened 3. Toughened 3. He does not take 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. He's a little higher now. That's a little bit safer. Does it matter enough? Does it matter at all for what I'm doing? I don't think so. Okay. So we need someone else to be able to attack right now to be able to hurt someone. Hero. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're just going to do this. We're going to activate this ability over here, which means the orb is going to go up 3 more XP to 19. Now it's dealing 19 damage at a time. But we're going to heal this enemy 10, so it's going to go from 12 to 22. But as a result, we're going to heal this hero 25. So it's going to go 25 to 30. So you suddenly went back to being in the game. That was a strong ability play over there. But then from there, we still need to resolve how we're actually trying to stay alive and all these things. But we also established that 22 damage should be enough for him to really do whatever he wants over there. Push to the target. That's not the best. Move to the target. Interesting. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and deal anything that does at least 11 damage. So we're going to go ahead and do distracting shot with this guy. This guy's going to pull off a distracting shot. Is it worth it? I think so. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and... yeah, we're going to pull off a distracting shot over here with this guy. So what we're going to do is 11 damage. We're going to target this guy. We need a 5 plus. We got a 13. That's going to do 11 damage plus our usual push into here, which means it's enough to kill him. So he's going to die over here because he drops all the way down to 0. That's always fun over there. So that's good there. Then we're all going to get a cube as a result. Cube, 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 and cube. And then on the ally's turn, we're going to pay 2 cubes from him to be able to move to an ally and move to an enemy, and you move 2. So we're going to go ahead and move 2 over here, 1, 2, and then, or on 2 specifically, and then 1, 2 to move this guy into line of sight of everyone else. That's going to be their turn. Then because of that, he, or actually she probably should start running towards the other metric. So she's going to start running. Her whole turn is going to be a running turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 4, 5. Here we go. And she can move only 5, so that's fine. So she's good as far as that goes. And then that covers that. So we've done those turns. We've done her turn. We've done the shooter's turn. We have not done Grigori's turn. Grigori actually has capacity to do things. So Grigori could target this guy right about now, and Grigori actually has the health to deal with it. So maybe Grigori should target that guy. But then I probably should move 1 less. Yeah, I think I'm going to move 1 less so that I'm actually just, closer to that guy my previous turn. So we're now going to have Grigori attack this guy because we need to take this guy out to be able to be eligible for anything. So Grigori's going to go ahead and attack, and he's going to do a 10 damage attack against this guy with a defense of 7. We're going to roll. We got a 10. That's going to be 10 damage. We're going to deal the 10, and that's basically 10 damage. That's all it is. There's nothing fancy. 23 down to 13, and then I'm protected 3. So that's going to be the relevance there. I'm protected and shielded, and I'm protected, toughened, and shielded. Protected makes it harder for them to attack me, and toughened over there. Okay, plus 3 defense, negative 3 damage. Okay. Okay. We're going to go ahead and see what happens over here. That guy's going to try to attack over here. He's attacking the person with the most cubes. The person with the most cubes is going to be Nyx up here, which means Nyx can't reach. He's going to Dark Surge, 1, 2, 3, and then instead attack me over here. I think that's what's going to happen over here. I think that's reasonable. And then over here, they're going to attack against me. I have a defense of 11 because I'm protected 3. And it rolled 16, unfortunately, so I persevered through that. But I am going to take, it's going to deal 10 damage over here and heal for the damaged enemy with the lowest HP. So I don't think this one's damaged at all. In fact, I didn't even put its token on the board, which means this one's going to be the damaged one. So it's going to heal for itself to 14, and then it's going to be dealing 10 less the shielded of 4 and toughened of 3. So 7, I only take 3 damage. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, things are doing fine over there. Then we still have one more person to activate over here, which means we activate this guy, Nyx over here, the second Nyx, who's Ravel. I don't know why I call it Nyx. And this character has now activated, and this character is now dead. So we have some things to manage over here. We have one ability. Oh no, we're going to refresh our abilities. We're going to refresh our abilities, which means we get to refresh one of our cards. We're going to refresh our military attack over here, our sword, and we're going to go ahead and take down this baddie, I think. I'm going to do Vitality Sword. So we're going to do Vitality Sword as an attack over here, and then Vitality Sword is going to activate, and we're going to basically, we're going to move closer, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here, and attack this person. We're going to go ahead, or you should only be 1 away, so we'll just attack him over here. We're going to roll a die against this enemy over here, and we are going to, wrong die over here. We need to roll a 7+. We got a 5, but this person could spend a cube to be able to add to the result at the cost of 3 HP, which I think is well worth it. Which means we are now doing 10 damage, and we're healing ourselves for 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 damage against this one, plus another 4 from here, which means he's straight up dead in terms of that, so he's gone. Which means we're all going to get a cube, 1, 1, 1, and 1. And then lastly, we heal ourselves by 4. No, he already activated, so we won't do that. But he is off the board, which is the nice part. Nope, wrong character. He's off the board. And that is the turn, which is overall an okay turn as far as things go. Overall, I'm doing just fine there, which means it is now time for the Reaper to activate. The Reaper is going to activate, hitting the target with the lowest HP. That is going to, again, be Nyx, which means it's going to be Dark Surging, 1, 2, 3, and instead hitting the closest target, which is going to be this orb, 1, 2, 3, 4, hitting that orb for 15 damage. 15 damage against the orb means it brings its health down to 20. We do have to be careful of that. But then the orb is going to Dark Surge, dealing 19 damage to this guy. So 35, 32 minus 19 is going to be 13, I think? 13, I believe. 13, so already basically close to dead. And that's as far as this guy's in play. And then we have to pay 2 cubes from somewhere, which we'll again do from Ravel to keep that in play. And then we're going to spawn a new person, which again will probably just be the giant red one we continue to spawn, popping them out over here. And that's going to be the enemies there. Which means we now need to do the following. We now need to get the last barrel, and then kill all the enemies last barrel spawns, and then we win. I think it's doable. I think it's doable. But it's a lot. Especially because these guys are over here, which is not the best. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Time for all the remaining tips and tricks up my sleeve. We spawned the enemies. We did our things. Time for Nyx to go ahead and just open the last barrel. She's going to go ahead and go 1, 2, 3 and interact, which means she still has her ability. She still has her core, attack action left. But we are going to go ahead and place Skeleton 24B. So we're going to go ahead and do this over here. 24B is now coming into play. That's going to be this guy over here. We're going to put him down on 50 health and on this spot over here. Then we are placing out Halfling Riders. We're going to put down 2 Halfling Riders. We're going to do the following. We're going to have this base over here for one of them. And this one's going to go down on 090 over here. And it's going to be a card that has a strength of Halfling Rider. It's going to be a strength 55. Then we're going to have Halfling Riders 10G over here, which is again going to be a 55. And we're going to take a green hex base, if I can find one, on someone. I think I had someone around here. Could have sworn I had a green hex base. Where's the green hex base? Oh, it's over here on this guy. We're going to put that guy down on... That's 10? Oh, wow, he's over here. He's a little bit... Actually, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I might be able to do some stuff this turn. Let's see just how much damage I can do. We're going to figure it out. But that's all the enemies. So we got 3 core enemies we need to take out, and then we win. We do get a token left on Nyx's base situation, because Nyx got that one. So we're going to be able to do another token in play. Choose 3 combatants. Heroes heal 7. I can work with that. And heal 13, the lowest HP. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pop this down over here on this ability. Choose 3 combatants, heroes heal 7, and enemies take 7 damage. We're going to look at Nyx over here and see what she can do, because I want to be able to hurt the baddies. Ah, man. This is the tricky part. 8 damage, heal 3 2 heroes. Okay. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do Circle of Healing. So, we should be able to target this hero over here. So we're going to target... There's so many heroes, so many enemies. This is so bad. Can I do anything on the allies' turn right now? I think we're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to go ahead and deal this one over here to make the roll blessed. So your roll is blessed, although, do I have a special I can use? I have my special over here, which is made doing 8 squares, want to make an attack, take 10 damage before striking. Interesting. Okay. I like that. Counterspell's interesting. Counterspell's interesting. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and deal this effect over here. So we did this over here. We kind of want to move people around the board and navigate and mitigate them in all kinds of ways, but we're not going to the second. Okay. We're going to go ahead and resolve this. So we're going to attack this guy over here. We're going to roll our die. I'm going to hit him for 2, but this roll is blessed, fortunately, and we rolled a 10, which is much better, which means we can actually hit that guy. So we deal 8 damage against him. He goes down from 50 to 42, and then he's going to try to attack me accordingly. So what he's going to do, he's going to attack the furthest hero he can reach, which I believe is this one, because this is closer, closer, and these two he can't reach. So he's going to head towards me, which means, what's my range? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to use this ability over here. We're going to pop this ability off. Start of turn, pay 4 HP, and the target gets bleeding. So we're going to pay 4 HP to 44, and he's going to get bleeding, which means when he goes 1, 2, 3, he only moves there, he's going to take another 6 damage. So we're going to go from 42 to 36. He's then also, I get to heal 2 heroes, so I'm going to heal the blue guy by 1, 2, 3, and myself by 1, 2, 3. And that's going to be my turn over there. But I don't have an ally within range of me, so I won't be able to get the +5 over there. And that is going to be her turn. You're now going to attack that person. Anything I can do on the enemy's turn situation? I don't know if I can. I can do protected 3. We can do as well, I don't know. I could make that one a little further away, possibly. No, it's not the same. I could, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and I will activate this last cube over here, which I'm going to move him backwards a bit more by 2 before he gets to his turn. Start of turn, move at 3. That means he has to move a full 5 to get here, which means he'll get 4 more damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. Also, though, that's going to trigger all 4 of these cubes, which means we're going to deal 9 damage to his head. So we're going to do 32 down to 20, 32 down to 23. There we go. I can do math. Then he's going to go ahead and attack. I don't think I can stop that. So we're going to go ahead and deal that damage. And we're going to resolve. We're going to attack damage. So he's going to roll. It's rolling against a... He's going to do 16 damage. He's going to kill Nyx unless I can do something. Protected won't stop the... Protected might be worth it. +3 to defense against enemies. I think I'm going to go ahead. I think I have to spend one of these to make myself protected. So I have +3 defense. Can anyone else do anything? I don't think so. Okay, so we're going to have to roll. We have a defense of 7, so a defense of 10. 11. 11 is unfortunately too strong, which means I think we're going to die. I think Nyx is going to take 16 damage, unless there's something I can do to mitigate that I'm missing, but I don't believe there is, which means I think Nyx dies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think I can do. Nyx is going to die. Nyx is going to die, unfortunately. She's going to fall down over here. Now, there are opportunities to spend a chest to revive a hero, but we'll have to deal with that separately. But, in the meantime, that resolves his turn over there. Now, we haven't talked a lot about hero death, but effectively you get first aid kits you can spend to revive heroes. But if you do use them, you can't advance your Kemet Hunt, which I want to do. The good news is you only have to use one when it gets to the start of your turn. So, we may be able to get away without actually using one. We'll see how it goes. I thought the start of her next turn. But for right now, speaking of start of next turn, we have 3 more heroes to activate. And this hero, this enemy, activated already. So he's safe pickings. The other enemies are the tricky part. So, a few things we can do over here. We do want the enemies to kind of close in on us. We don't want them to attack the orb of death situation. This person is gone, unfortunately, for right now at least. We got some situations going on. So the question is, what can we do that would take them out? We have an interrupt counterspell over here, We will have the opportunity to refresh over here. Not really refresh. Push to the target. No. We could take that one out. It's not really helpful. 1, 2. What's your movement? 6, 5 movement. 1. It's too much. It's too much. I could push you into there, which is not bad. I think it's not bad at all, actually. Okay. So we could do it right from where we're up to even. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and move 1, 2 over here so that they're forced to draw and pull back in. This character wants to hit the person with the least HP, which is going to be our thing over here, which means it will want to... Oh, interesting. So let's try to work with that, actually. So this one has a range of 1, so I think we're not going to move. We're going to stay where we are over here. We're in fact going to go over there to prevent that. And then we're going to move. We're going to go ahead and take an arcane shot over here. Is arcane shot the best way to do it? All combatants in a 3x3 area may move in number of combat targets hit 1 square each. No, I don't think that helps me right now. Although it might if something else changed, but we're gonna go with this. Alright, so arcane shot. We're gonna go ahead and do an arcane shot against this person over here. We're going to roll a die against it. Its health is its defense is a 7, which means we need a 18 is perfect. We're gonna go ahead and hit this guy, and that's going to be doing 12 damage. Plus we get to push him, and we're going to let's say push him. I don't even know. We're gonna push him over here into the terrain effect because we take the damage over here. Deal plus 8 damage if it takes terrain damage doing the attack, and so we're going to deal. Again, 12 plus 12 for 24 damage against it. Where is its health indicator? Indicator 55, 24. It's down to 31 already. Then from there, it's going to respond by trying to attack the orb. Well, actually, not really trying to. It might actually attack the orb. But when doing that, it's going to go ahead and try to run past me. So it's going to go 1, 2. Oh, I can push it over here. Oh, that's nice. Because then on its turn, it'll take the damage again. So it's going to take another 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. You take damage when you end your turn or whenever you step onto it. And in order to get to the target with the lowest health, which is that, it's going to go onto it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then walk past me, taking my 8 reaction damage. So it now drops from 27 down to 19. So we're doing great in terms of being able to take out its damage, but it is ultimately going to attack the orb. So we do have to hope that the orb, with its defense of, I believe, only 6, if I recall, a defense of 6, which is not great. So the orb's probably going to be taking 16 damage, which means we cannot afford to have the orb attacked again. So we're going to roll this over here, and it rolls a 10. So the orb is going to take 16 damage, dropping from 19 down to 3. So we cannot have, wait, wrong thingy, 20 down to 4. So we cannot afford to have the orb attacked again. That's the good news. That's the bad news. The good news is this guy is definitely done with because the orb is going to spike out 19 damage. That's the good news. So we have good news and we have bad news. We have lots of news left, right, and center. We still have enemies to activate, though, because there's still 3 more enemies. And right now, the Reaper, who's currently at 13 damage over here, is definitely going to try to kill the orb. The Reaper Violent over here is not, so we're fine there. And then the Halfling Rider is not. So we got, some people are going to attack the orb, some people are not. We just need to make sure to kill this guy over here, or just prevent him from attacking, which we could do with the counterspell. That's not bad at all. Okay. Okay. That's fine. 0 damage, negate the targets, you are hastened. Okay, I like it, I like it. So, overall effects, there's no roll on this. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and do that. Great. So I think we're settled on what we're trying to do right now, which means right now we've activated 2 characters. We still have some more to activate. So let's go ahead and have Dragori activate. Yeah, let's go ahead and have Dragori activate. Dragori's going to go ahead and activate. He's going to try to get to over here. Can we get close enough? We're going to go ahead and prep all our skills again, except for our ultimate, which is gone, which means we should have this back in play as well. And now we're going to go ahead and flip. Dragori's going to flip his sword. So we're doing fine as far as that goes. We are going to go ahead. This guy's going to try to hit the target with the most cubes, which is going to be Nyx is gone, so Dragori probably. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and Dragori's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe I do have a range 2 attack. I have a few actually. Pull for another enemy. I could do that, but I don't know if I need to necessarily. I guess I could though. Or I could do you run to it and make a basic attack instead. Interesting. That is interesting. I don't know if it necessarily matters to me strongly, but it is interesting. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do a daring taunt over here. So we're going to do a daring taunt. We're going to attack against this guy over here. We're going to roll against it. It's got a defense of 7, and we just got a 12. 12 means we're going to deal our 9 damage against it. So 9 damage against that guy, going 55 down to 46. That's 9 damage. Then we are going to, and we have +3 to attack roll, which I forgot as well. We're going to pull for this enemy. So this enemy is going to go ahead and be pulled over here next to me, which means he's going to take 4 damage. He's going down to 31 over there, and that's going to be that effect there. That's it. That's done. We are going to use our +5 against this guy to deal 5 more against the green, and that's going to be 46 down to 41. And then green's going to activate, and he's going to target the hero with the most cubes, which I really probably should have planned a bit more around this, because it would have been helpful to not have Dragori have the most cubes. But it is what it is. So he's going to go ahead and target Dragori. I mean, I need people dealing damage to him, but fine. He's going to target Dragori. Dragori is toughened. He's going to try to do what he can over here. The hero with the enemy with the highest HP gains 1 Empower token. That's fine. So we're going to go ahead and just simply move closer to me by 1, it looks like. Unless there's anything I can do before his turn. Perhaps I can move him around. I could go ahead. So interesting. So I could do... No, that won't help me. That won't help me. Move 5 and ally. It can't be targeted. That's not helpful because I don't have that. That's not helpful either. He's dead. He's dead. I'm going to go ahead and do the following. It's an enemy's turn, so I'm going to do this guy. Oh, he doesn't have a cube, so that's not helpful at all. That is not helpful. I need more cubes then. And she's dead, so we can move her cubes off. We'll leave her cubes as R for right now. So I think that's all we can really do. Pay 4 HP, target is bleeding. Yep. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and have this enemy attack me. We're going to attack. It's attacking against an 8, and the 8 is a 2, which is beautiful. That means it's only going to hit 8 for 8 damage, less my 7, so I take 1 damage, which is perfect. Okay, and that's Dragori's turn, which means, and now this character has now activated. We still have these 2 characters in play who are doing their thing over there, but that part I can work around. And then we are going to go ahead and have this character go ahead and activate. And so she is going to try to come into play and try to figure out how we can hurt the enemy. Move one enemy in 3 of you. 9 damage. You must apply bless to make a range 2 against the target has no allies. I don't want to do that over here. We could do bone destruction. Target is weakened. Or 24 damage. I think now's the time to do Web of the Arachne. Okay, so we're going to do Web of the Arachne over here. We're going to try to move closer. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hitting against that person. We're going to do Web of the Arachne, 24 damage. We're going to go ahead and roll our yellow die over here. We're going to roll. We got a 13, which is perfect over here. And it's going to end the Eye of the Argo's effect, unfortunately. And it's going to do 24 damage against this guy, which means they're going to go ahead and do 41 down 24 plus another 4. So 25 from 41 brings us to 16. I think we should be fine on being able to do stuff next turn. And then we're also going to use our +5, because why not? That's going to bring you down to a further 11. And that's going to have this thing permanent. While within 1 of you, enemies are slowed. Okay, so it's going to be another permanent effect over here. And I think this ability is actually back in cycle. And so that's where we are right now. Okay. So, we've done that card. We've done all enemies, which means the other enemies get to activate now. So to that end, we're going to have the Reaper Violent over here, targeting the hero with the most HP, which I believe is actually me. But because we're within 1 of you, it's going to be, you're shielded, and if an ally is attacked, it flips an attack, and you move 2. So this enemy is going to go ahead and attack against this person. So it's going to walk off there and try to attack. And it's going to, you know what, we could do, no, we're going to be fine. We're fine with that. We're just going to go ahead and take the attack over here, which means we're going to roll this against a defense of 7. And we got a 6, which is beautiful. So again, it's going to do 8 residual damage, 44 down to 36. Okay, that's enemy's done. Then we're going to go ahead and have this enemy attack. It's unfortunately going to attack the orb, but that's where we're going to go ahead and use our ultimate. We're going to do counter spell. We're going to take 10 damage. Here's our character, 26 down to 16, and we're going to negate the attack, but we do have to roll for it, and we're going to roll for it against its defense of 5. and we got a 12. So we are negated the attack, and now the enemy does nothing at all instead. And that's gone, which is why we have to stay alive over there. And then this thing is going to blast out and deal damage to both of these, killing both of these guys entirely from the map, which means both of these guys are gone, and we can safely take 2 cubes back for each character. And this guy's dead. So that's going to be that situation. So those guys are off the board. We have these in play, which means we only have these 2 enemies left to worry about. One of them down to 24 health, one of them down to 11 health. We should be able to take them out, but let's find out how this plays out, because we only have 3 characters to take them out, which is the slightly trickier part. The 24 is the one I'm worried about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 24 is the one I'm worried about. But let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. We have some cubes over here, so we have a few options over here. But we're going to start off with a basic. Let's see. Do you have any ranged attacks in your repertoire? You don't. You have that one over there, which is something I can work with to a degree. And then Dragori over here has nothing I can do over there. So we will try to start with... Oh, and then we have to spawn a baddie. We'll spawn this Reaper over here. I don't think I'm worried about the Reaper right now. We're either going to survive or not. And I'll go ahead and have Dragori remove the 2 cubes to negate our totem taking 10 damage. Oh, we still have that effect. I'm an idiot. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so I forgot one thingy. I forgot an ability. Choose 3 combatants, heroes, heal 7. Okay. 1, 2, 3. We have an option at our disposal. So, we're going to go ahead and start by having Dragori take the first turn, and Dragori is going to attack this guy over here using our retaliation attack. Okay, so we're going to attack this guy. Is going to do 9 damage. Is that enough? That's not enough. I need something that does 11. This guy has 11 freaking damage. I need something to do 11. Interesting. I need something that does 11. But I could do that too. Is there anything we do that does... Oh, I could do that. Okay, cool. Ready? Here we go. So, we're going to do this damage over here. We're going to do our retaliation attack over here. And so, we're going to apply it to this guy. We're going to roll our die. It needs to be a defense of 7+. We got a 20. That's definitely enough damage. That's going to kill this guy because of the nature of our critical hit, dealing +5. So everyone gets a cube back, and I don't even need to do it as I was planning on doing. But then also choose an enemy. The next time that enemy resolves an attack, you run to it and make an attack. So I'm going to choose this enemy while removing this guy from the board and this guy from the board, and basically all the guys except for these 2 from the board. We're almost done here. We just need to kill this guy at that point. That's all we need to do, I think. Yep, that's all we need to do. Which means we now have plenty of options at our disposal, because on Dragori's turn, Dragori's first of all we're going to have this person spend a cube to pay 4 HP, make a basic attack. So we're going to go down to 12, make a basic attack against that guy. It's going to be rolled at a 5+ over here. We got a 16. That's going to be 8 damage against him. So he goes down from 24 down to 16. That's going to be the first thing we do over there. Then we're going to resolve this person's actual turn, which means... Do we have an ability to actually move them on to trap damage? That's the tricky part. I don't think we do this time. We can only deal... We move a number of enemies hit 1, and I can move 1, 1, 2. I need to move them a drop more. Let's see if I can do anything. Start of turn doesn't help. Okay. So, we're going to do a few things. Here's what we're going to do. On Dragori's... Well, we're going to go attack. Okay. This is what we'll do over here. I think we're good. We're going to do an Arcane Blast. We're going to roll against this guy. His defense over there. 5 over there. That's tricky. I didn't expect that to happen. So we're only going to do 5 damage to him. 5 down to 11. That's not good. Then we're going to go ahead and have this trigger its thingy. So it's going to be that. And that's going to deal 7 damage to this one. So it's 7 damage to him. Brings him down to 4. And I don't know if there's anything else we could do. I don't know if there's anything else we can do over here. Well, we could actually, because now that he's done his turn over here, we can go ahead and resolve the enemy's turn again. So once again, so he did this on his enemy's turn. Now he's going to do on his enemy's turn. He'll spend another 2 after he activates, rolling the die, spending 4 HP. So he's down to 8, and then he's going to kill him because he just did another 8 damage to him, which is enough to bring him down to 0, which means he just died, which means I just won. Finally just won, and we are good to go. Now, strictly speaking, each hero should take 5 damage. I messed up a little bit. When I did event 1, it says each hero takes 5 damage and loses a cube. So I messed up a little bit. Don't think it would have mattered. But in any case, we are now done, and we can go ahead and read 10.2. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long game. You've partially reconstructed and cleansed the area around Huradin's hut. It had been vandalized by a mob that damaged its orb of protection. It's now at full power, capable of defending a good part of the forest. The elusive dwarf is still nowhere to be seen, but he'll appreciate your help. By fighting their waves, you missed the opportunity to conduct a deep study on the undead and better understand their characteristics. Ironhand reports, fewer undeads and halflings spotted. Gloria's captain, as per your request, we've counted the number of unusual sightings on the outskirts of Shortfall. Before the war, halflings were almost never seen around here. For a while, we spotted vicious, worried halflings coming out of the forest, but that seems to have ceased, possibly in connection with the number of undead, which have dwindled too. Missing entourage found. Another sighting was of a group of Road Lake villagers. They wanted to meet a dwarf druid by the name of Huradrin, who, according to rumor, could contact their relatives in Warfiji. Heroes recently entered the forest learned that they were attacked by a wave of undead. We've recovered their bodies and notified a representative of the families. Follow the next adventure's instructions. You find reports of increased organized criminal activity on the Imperial roads, especially by orcs who are killing or corrupting officers in the Iron Hand. Remove adventure card D from the game. No! D is gone. Wait, what's D? We just handled undead infestation. We just lost adventure card D from the game. So that's gone. Okay. So 1 second while we resolve this over here. So this is the hunger thing. So we can no longer resolve the hunger situation because D is gone from the game. We are going to remove E from the game as well because we completed that. And mark orcs rebelling against Iron Hand fact. So we need to go ahead and mark the facts of the orcs are rebelling against the Iron Hand. This is going to come into play in additional situations later. Then we're going to go ahead. With criminality spreading, the Iron Hand is worried that the Kemet may want to coax and ally with some of them. Gain adventure card C. So we have a new adventure card that we have available. You have the opportunity to continue their investigations in the aftermath of the undead outbreak. Gain adventure card H. So it's another option in front of us. And if you lost this quest, read 001. If you won, read 002. That's going to be at the beginning of this book over here, where you're going to go at the very beginning and then go through the process of what you do when you win. So, to that end, we're going to go ahead and do that right now. What's the process you do when you win over here? Follows instructions. Draw 3 loot cards. So, we're going to go ahead and draw 3 loot cards over here. I'm going to shuffle this up, this loot pile, and mark this quest slot in the fast log. Okay? So, we're going to gain 3 loot cards to our supply. If you've done the extra challenge, draw another 2 loot cards. We did do the extra challenge in the first round of the game. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Draw as many loot cards as your current Kemet Hunt level, which we don't have any yet. Then, if you earn 7 loot cards, collected 2 chests and open done, draw 1 loot card for each first aid card not spent. That's 2 more. If you've earned 7 loot cards, collected 2 chests and open none, which we've done. No, I didn't collect this last chest, but this person could have collected the last chest on his turn, so I'm going to give myself that over there. So we're going to increase our Kemet Hunt level by 1, which is going to be something we marked onto the next quest over here. And I just did quest E, right? I did quest C, D, E. I did E. Okay. And then you may decrease your level as many times as you want. I don't. I want to increase my level. Fill your Kemet Hunt level in the next spot. In the calendar, write on the letter of the adventure you've just played. Remove its card from the game. Gain this quest's card. So we need to get quest E, I guess? E. No, this quest is called Welcome to the Jungle. Welcome to the jungle. How do I do this? There we go. Welcome to the quest jungle. We got this. We're going to go into our pile of stuff that we own. In the log, take note of the mastery points listed in the back of the quest card and their respective war points. In the log, take note. Okay. So over here, we should be gaining mastery points plus 1 undead fight and plus prestige with peoples. So we're going to go to our mastery points and gain undead fight and prestige with peoples. And again, this is just marking things off as far as stuff we're going to earn. We have undead fight. We have marking that off. We have prestige with peoples. We're going to mark that off, which means we're prepping to more stuff that we're unlocking over here. If you have no cards in hand, apply the previous table. That's good. Quest has ended. Begin the next phase. So, the next thing we're going to do is the city phase. We'll be back in a few minutes with the city phase, but I need to go clean everything else up here. So, like I said, we'll be back in a few minutes with the next city phase. We're back and ready to dive into the city phase. This is one of my favorite parts of Tanares Adventures, where you get the opportunity to level up and develop things in between games. We're going to be operating with this city phase over here, this map situation. This is one of the things that will be upgraded in the new reprint. Right now it's a paper sheet, and they're upgrading it to an actual board. It has the world map on the other side, which is going to be several gameplays away from now until we see that. To that end, as usual with the first games, I'm going to be walking you through a bit more on things, and to that end, we're going to go ahead and start assembling the map. I'm just going to walk you through the instructions of how things are going to go, so you have an understanding. In the future, I'll go a little faster. So, assembling the map, we're going to put 4 random NPCs from this week on the map. You're going to grab all the NPCs from the specific week, in this case, week 1. We're then going to go ahead and shuffle these up and put 4 NPCs out, or NPCs we could hypothetically get. So let's go ahead and do that over here, and we're going to go ahead and put down 1 over here, 1 over here, 1 over here, and 1 over here. These are the potential NPCs we have the opportunity to recruit in this phase. We're going to grab the character deck and structures from your dedicated storage. That's going to be this character deck over here. We're also going to put into the character deck our actual character cards, because if we draw those are going to be helpful in different ways. I am still going to be shuffling this. I just find it's more likely to have them separated in different ways if you separate them to begin with and then shuffle. So you're taking your full deck of 20 or 24 initial characters, adding your 4 characters. As you recruit more characters in the game, and you will be recruiting more characters in the game, you're going to be able to add those to your deck. And this is going to be, let's do 1 riffle shuffle. It terrifies me because I don't like riffle shuffling cards, especially not sleeve cards. Usually I do just a direct in-hand sleeve. But there's so many cards in this game, I kind of don't want to sleeve it. It's one of the few games you'll hear me say that about. But I want to sleeve it. I just don't want to sleeve it, if that makes sense. I'm pretty sure I have an entire bag of sleeves for this game. Anyways, let's go ahead and put these over here. Maybe I'll figure out something with the core box. I don't know. For right now, character deck's over here. We're going to put this down over here. Place your current city level structures. Those are going to be the structures we took at the beginning of the game. We're going to put them down over here. These are structures we're going to have the opportunity to upgrade across the course of the adventure. We're going to draw our 4 hands of 4 characters, 1 for each player. This is a good reminder to push this up a bit so I can have the hands in play. We do everything over there. Grab the city structures, place your current level, draw 4 hands. So basically, even if playing solo, which I am, we're going to be drawing 4 hands of characters to be able to have them operate as such. So we're going to go ahead and place these down. Let's hope we get some good characters. We want our initial characters in our hands. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. Maybe we go ahead and get something over here. Nope. Nothing yet. Nothing yet. We got none of our cool characters from the actual game over here set up, at least not yet. Let's see if we can move this up a draw more so we can get them all on screen in a way that we can actually work with things. You know, honestly, if I do it like this and overlay, that'll probably work better. So we're going to do like so. And then we're going to continue drawing. We have, again, no particular cool characters. We have none of our starting characters. There we go. We got something. Something from our starting characters. It's only 1, which is not the best. I'd rather have drawn more of our starting characters because they are stronger than everything else we get. You can't always control what you draw, although you can do things to improve your draw chances as you go through things. So, we now have everything over here, and now you're going to have each player playing their cards in a single turn. You're not going to be alternating. What I'm doing is going to be spending these cards to commit towards various effects. And so let's walk you through the different things you can do in the city phase. The first thing is you can go ahead and spend people over here. So, for example, just to give you one example, if I wanted to go ahead and spend this, and no, I can't do it there. Can I do it anywhere here? Anywhere, anywhere. No, it does not look like I can do that one. I could do... I'm trying to figure out which ones I actually could do what I want over here. Oh, I could do this one over here. 3, 3, and... No, it won't. Yeah, so here's an example. So let's pretend this character went first. And I can choose which character in order. But I can spend these people over here to do these 3 books over here. These 3 and 3 and 1. And that would be 6 and 3, which is exactly what we need to accomplish 2 quests over here. So if we did this, we would draw 2 cubes from there. And for every 3 cubes we draw an extra loot card. Effectively, every cube is worth a loot card. And every 3 cubes are worth an extra loot card. So there is a motivation to get a bunch of things there. Loot cards are going to be essential to be actually able to deal with these buildings over here, both to upgrade them as well as to be able to use them in different ways. And so you're trying to be mindful of how this economy works as you spend people for their effects. The reason you want the heroes is heroes have just more stats. They have more stats to play with over here, and therefore they can be more effective in different ways. Although this hero doesn't have any 6s, 6s really can be helpful a lot, but even the 5 and the 4, they still operate together to give you some degree of greater control or agency over what you're trying to do. But with that, the next step you can do is you can conquer NPCs. So if you conquer 3 NPCs, you will draw a loot card. Conquering NPCs over here is going to give you the opportunity to add these to your deck. They have certain conquer values in the top left corner, and these are better than your starting NPCs, and if you put them into your deck, they're going to go into discard for right now, but in future rounds, they're going to be able to be utilized as part of your character deck, which is going to help you, well, gather more characters. And then lastly, down here, we have the opportunity to place cubes that we place down. Each cube has a cost from those same metrics over those 4 stats. And when you place cubes down here, you can utilize them both to upgrade buildings as well as to use the ability on the buildings themselves. And buildings have abilities that are useful. So for example, you can change around loot cards in the Natural Lab. You can use the weapon shop to exchange one item for any other one of the same level. So you have these options in the shops themselves, but then additionally you have these imprinted abilities over here. Sorry, when you upgrade them, you also have the ability to upgrade the actual attack cards for certain character classes. This is one of those areas where, despite the game giving you the goal that you should have a balanced roster of classes, sometimes you can play around with different things. So for example, if you have a shooter and a fighter, then when you upgrade the weapon shop, you're going to upgrade the attack cards for both of them at the same time, which is very helpful. So there are times where specializing in certain things as opposed to being across the board can help you as you go through things. Now with that, let's try to figure out what I actually want to do. So we have our characters here. We definitely want loot cards, I know that, but I usually focus most on the NPCs because your cards, we're going to spend the cubes earned, draw loot from expeditions, add conquered NPCs. Let's try to figure out how we want to do this. Do I have anything else over here? No, we're just going to go ahead and place this down here. So we want to gather the conquered NPCs. I love the conquered NPCs, one of my favorite parts over here. And so if I look down over here, we have, do I have 2 handshakes anywhere? I have 2 handshakes, no, nope. Handshake and handshake. Okay. So I can work with double handshake and attack. That's not bad over here. I want more. Double handshake. No, I want handshake. Sorry, I'm just looking at these over here. We need handshake and attack. Okay. And then handshake and attack. That won't help me. Oh, no, it would. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. This for a character class over here is going to do handshake and attack, so 3 and 3, to be able to collect this person. So once again, just in case you can't see that, we're going to go ahead and be using this and this to purchase this person, and they're going to go into our discard pile. So that's done over there. We're going to use the other 2 over here to be able to use, again, the handshake and attack symbol over here to be able to purchase this person over here. So we're putting those people into our discard pile. We want to get at least 3 because 3 will give us a loot card as well, and that's character 1 done. They're done over there, which means we can go to the next one, which means we need to figure out how we can get the next person that we want without messing with our stats. He's a little trickier because he requires 4. Which means that's always trickier unless you have a character that gives you the stats, because these generally don't give you 4 unless you use multiple cards. So he'd require 3 cards. Let's take a look at whether he's worth going for. Because he's going to do gain 1. Honestly, the first 2 I didn't even look. I just like having improved characters, improved stats. You can see over here, just like on the sidebar, this one's going to give you double the stats over here, which is useful. Then over here we have these. These give you some basic stats. They also give you +2 of any one ability. If this conquers an NPC, put 1 on a structure. +2 of any one ability. If this conquers an NPC, put 2 on the weapon shop. So these are useful. I don't know. Gain 1, you may equip weapons and armors of any kind, ignoring roll restrictions. That's potentially useful. Gain 1, your max HP is 140. This does not increase your initial HP. Those are going to be in-game quest powers. I think I'm fine leaving him alone. If I had a hero that can get him, it would be one thing, but I don't, which means I'm just going to focus on getting her. And so to that end, the next person who can probably do that is this person over here. But that means we want to be mindful of what these 2 are doing as they commit to things. Because I don't think there's enough strength to get what we want. So I don't think this is going to help over here. Which means I'm kind of inclined to go here and here, or here and here. If I did here and here, so I'm going to use this character over here to be able to do those. So we're going to get that and that as far as, this and this as far as unlocking Edhill Lisperolus, which means we put her down here. These character cards are used, and we're going to go ahead and draw a loot card from the deck over here because of the fact that when you recruit 3 NPCs, you draw a loot card. And so we're going to go ahead and have this loot card, which is going to go with our other loot cards that we have, which we probably should look at, because this will give us some information as far as what we have access to doing in the game. So you can see over here, because this is going to give us options for what we can actually build as we go through this. So understanding the resources we have is an important part of this puzzle. I'm going to leave Galandor alone. As much as I want him, he would be better suited to be gathered with the right character that can utilize their stats. Using my basic people with their basic stats, it's a little inefficient. I have to spend 3 people to get him, which is doable. Don't know if I want to do that specifically. But from there, let's figure out what else we can do specifically. This is tricky. This is tricky. So if I combine that with that, that won't work. That will not work, but I could combine I could combine that with that. So let's try to figure things out over here. I think I'm going to use Hope Healer over here. I'm going to take this stat over here. So I'm going to use Hope Healer. We're going to use her 5 and our 4, but we're going to contribute the Iron Hand Spy. Now the Iron Hand Spy over here could either spend 3 or could spend 2 on anyone's turn. So she can be played out of turn if you're only doing 2, which would give me 6 and 5. And that 6 and 5 I can utilize towards... I think I had this right a second ago. Did I have it right, or did I just do it wrong? Nope, I can't do it the way I thought I would. Never mind. That doesn't help me for what I want to do. Ignore me. Can I get my hands? Those two stats don't go hand in hand. The eye and the handshake don't work together. So we're not going to be able to do that. So we're going to have to use Hope the Healer with the eye and the handshake are present over here. So we're going to use Hope the Healer over here to be able to put down the eye and the handshake, putting down 2 cubes over here. Now you could use your own colors over here. I don't heavily worry about which colors, I just put them down over there. But you could use the character's colors to put them down. But she used her eye and handshake to go ahead and do that over there, which means she's now done. We're going to go ahead and continue to contribute. Over here, can we do anything as far as these? These 2 can go up here. But I don't think it's really going to be that helpful to me. So I don't think we're going to do much there. I think we're going to start contributing towards our various things. Now, if we want to upgrade, let's say, the weapon shop over here. Upgrading the weapon shop would involve us being able to... we have to spend the 3 coins, which we don't have right now. We are going to have the opportunity to draw loot cards, but we don't know what they're going to draw just yet. So, in fact, I'm going to take this back and we'll deal with it shortly. I just want to resolve these first. In fact, have I fully resolved these? Did I fully resolve these? I don't think I fully resolved this hand. I need to fully resolve this hand. I apologize. I'm doing this a bit out of order. These 2 can be utilized to go ahead and put things down on weapon shops. We have the most wood, so we know we have the flexibility there. So I think we are going to put this on the natural lab. So we're going to put down 2 cubes onto the natural lab. So we're going to grab 2 cubes, putting down the natural lab. We're spending 1 cube in the natural lab, and then 1 cube on... We could do this over here. We have wood for this as well. Sure, let's go ahead and do... Ooh, I do like this one. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this one. I like getting cubes over here because you can remove 2 cards from your character deck, which is how you can weed some of the initial cards out of your system, which I like a lot. So we're going to go ahead and tap those out. We're done there. We still have these hands left to go. I really do want to get some actual loot. I haven't drawn really loot cards right now, which is tricky. It's doable. So I think we're going to go ahead and do the Iron Hand Soldier over here. We're going to do these over here to be able to do the 2 spots over there. Gathering this. So we have 2 of those, so 6 and 3, which means we're going to gather 2 loot cards. If I can get at least a third from something, then I can go ahead and get a bonus loot card. So I'm now motivated to get at least 1 more loot card in play. With our 3 eyeballs over here, we're going to use the last cube you need to be able to activate that Iron Hand quest and start weeding some cards from my deck. So we've activated 3 characters now. We still have lists left to go. And to that end, we really do want to get more loot cards, although I just don't see great ways to benefit from these over here. You have to use them on the same area, so you can't split up these stats, unfortunately, which means she is going to go ahead and do what she originally thought, which is putting them down over here. And we'll figure out what we do over here. Draw 2 heroes and add 1 to your character deck. I don't know if it's worth it. Unfortunately, but I don't see a better option forward. She might have been useful on one of these characters. I don't think so, though. Nope, would not have been useful. Succubus, Nyx over here is not helping us out much. So she's going to go on the tavern over here. It will be what it will be. We'll able to still utilize it for different things, just not necessarily the best things right now unless we draw more loot. So she's done there over there, which means I am motivated to get at least 1 more loot from these people here. And I could do so, but it's only going to be exactly 1 more loot. So I need to figure out which loot I want to gather because these should probably go somewhere. We can change 2 loot cards. That's not bad. Changing 2 loot cards is not bad at all. And so we may want to use that. That's only 1, but it gives us the flexibility to upgrade in different ways. And the problem with upgrading things is right now you can spend 2 cubes to remove 2 cards, but if you upgrade it, you may be able to do even more out of it. So I think we're going to go ahead and spend, I don't know. It's not helpful to have 1 here. It is helpful to have 1 here. So I think if we used this and, let's see, the staff and the handshake, that would work. So the staff and the handshake would work over here. Yeah, I think that works over here. I'm not loving this over here, but I think it's essential. So we're going to go ahead and do this over here. We're going to use these. No, we can't use those. I'm sorry. That doesn't work for us. We have to use this and this. I'm not loving this. I think I'm a little stuck in terms of how I can actually do much over here. We need more coins. We have the ability to flex the loot cards a bit. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do this. I don't know if it'll work out for us or not. We're going to go ahead and do these over here to be able to put a loot token down there. And then we're going to do this one over here to be able to put 1 more token down here. So now we're done. We've used all our characters, some to the better ability, some to not. But right now, draw 1 loot card per token, and for each 3, draw an extra loot card. So we are going to go ahead and draw 4 loot cards. We got 1 iron, we got another iron, we got another iron, and we got another. That actually worked decently for what I was trying to do. So we got the coins, and we got the iron laid out over here. Now we get to resolve these things over here, which is where it's useful, because the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be able to upgrade this. We're going to remove a cube, spend 3 iron and 2 wood. So we're going to return those to our spent pool, which we'll shuffle in later. And we're going to go ahead and get our Iron Hand Outpost level 2 card in play. So we're going to go ahead and resolve this. You can upgrade use structures, Iron Hand Outpost level 2. We're going to replace that. And now, when we spend these 2 cubes, we're going to remove 3 cards from our character deck. So that's just got a little better for us. We are now going to spend these 2 cubes and remove 3 cards from our character deck over here. So we're going to gather the character deck over here and remove, let's say, we're going to remove some initial people. Let's go ahead and remove 1 of each of these. Perfect. We got these 3. They're gone. They're going to my initial pool up here, where I can take them out and put them on the bottom of my deck. So we just did that. We resolved that. We still have these 2 cubes over here, as well as this cube over here to deal with. This one will allow us to upgrade if we had more loot. So if I had 1 more wood, that would allow us to upgrade it. The problem is we don't have 1 more wood, so that might go to waste. There's no point really opening new weapons while you're at level 1. So that cube might just be wasted. It is what it is. Now this cube over here, this one can either be spent to draw 2 heroes and add 1 to your character deck. That's not bad. It adds a hero to your character deck. I probably will do that, because the other option is I just get a gem. And adding a hero to a character deck is not a bad thing. It gives you that flexibility. So I think I will go ahead and I will spend this 1 and this 1 and these 2 cubes. And we're going to go ahead. Can I upgrade this? I don't think I can. I didn't have enough of those. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and upgrade this. And we're going to spend those to draw 2 heroes and add 1 to your character deck. Now this is the part where I'm going to secretly and shamefully tell you that my heroes are in a different box behind me. So I am going to do that separately. I also have to figure out the best way to do it, because I'm gonna have to use like some sort of algorithm or something, because my heroes are all sorted, and so I think I'm gonna go online and figure out some numeric rule. I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna get 2 heroes and add 1 of them to my character deck, or I'll just figure out a random hero. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna go. There's a whole listing of the heroes online. I might just like roll a D60 imaginary and pick those 2 heroes and then choose one of them. I think that's probably the best way to do it. So I'm going to do that for whenever I resolve this. So right now we're going to have the ability to do that, which means I'm going to be adding that hero to my character deck, which means for cleanup, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We're done. We've now just done everything we need to do. We've gathered more loot cards. We've gathered more NPCs, improving our deck. We've improved one of our structures, which is helpful over here, because now we can get better armor, although I didn't actually open any armor, because one of the things you could do is open various goods. But then I did remove 3 cards from my character deck, so I improved this. We have these left over for next round as part of our deck of cards over here, and we have our character deck that we're now going to separate and sort out to gather our characters again in preparation for the next round. Now going forward in these rounds, you're going to have the opportunity to now have an ally along with you. So the initial people have no quest power, which means I do want to find all our quest powers and heroes to be able to go through this and see what we have as far as these quest power situations. We're going to grab this, and then this, and this. No, this one, sorry, I apologize. I almost put Galen Weapon Dancer into my deck. He's supposed to be going back into the week 1 cards over there, out of sight and out of mind. We're going to go ahead and be done, and that's basically it. We are now officially done with everything in the quest phase. We can go ahead and mark down on our sheet. We can grab our sheets over here, and we can find this, and we can go ahead and now over here with our pen that we have, we can go ahead and mark down that we have accomplished the city phase. I just called it the quest phase, but we've accomplished the city phase. We are good to go there, which means we're going to join you shortly by choosing which adventure to go on. We have Unrest in the Forest and we have Counter Espionage. This will be, one of these 2 will be the next quest we go on, but you and I will figure that out together. That resolves a very long first playthrough of Tanares Adventures. I do find Tanares is a long game to go through. I don't find it to be as... I think this first game was a little longer than many, I think. I'm not certain. But either way, we will go ahead and we'll be back in around 2 weeks or so, somewhere in that range. Again, these are going to be going up in general every 2 weeks, but we'll be back with some more Tanares Adventures as I continue to dive into, well, we've taken down the undead. We've, not taken down, we've started the process of taking down the undead. Unfortunately, the orcs are allying with the Kemet, and the hunger is still running rampant in the cities because there's nothing that we did about that. We'll be back shortly with more adventures, and until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co., and I hope you have a good one.